Hello and welcome to Culture Shock, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and our outdated opinions. I'm your host, Doug, and with me today is...
Hey everybody, I'm Talia Shire, and I play Adrian in the Rocky franchise.
I'm Corey, and I feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
I'm Mike, and you're gonna eat lightning. You're gonna crap thunder.
Today we're going to talk about a franchise that has spanned half a century at this point. We have great classics in like Rocky 1 and 2. We're going to answer questions on how we feel about 3, 4, and is 5 the greatest Rocky of all time? What are your predictions, guys?
Pain.
There you go. Hey, that should be the theme of our show.
Going farther.
It's the
It is.
eye of the culture.
It's the heart of the fire.
Hey guys, join us on Tuesday. Wait, this is the Rocky episode.
All right, so to just get into it, Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Balboa. I personally believe the Creeds are part of the Rocky franchise, but some of us, 6 movies is enough for one episode, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh no, the Creed movies absolutely are part of the Rocky franchise, but there's no way we're doing an entire episode in 8 movies.
yeah. Six is fine. 8's ridiculous.
Like, 8 is just unreal. Honestly, it's funny. Like we've been breaking these big trilogies up into smaller movies. Why did we decide to do this all at 6? I don't even remember.
Because they're just such a linear story. It's hard to just break them up like that. I feel.
Wait, are you saying like as opposed to talking about them one at a time?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, the actual reason was because Creed 3 comes out soon, and we wanted to
okay.
Yeah,
That's out around that
The
time.
real
That's
reason
fair.
is we want to capitalize on the movie coming out.
Yeah.
Sell out.
Yeah, right.
With me tonight.
Hey,
Anyway.
Corey, welcome to the Real Big Fish episode.
Oh, God.
It's music, sucker.
You've been bamboozled.
It's fine. I'll just quit the room, and you guys can do a 3-man.
I don't hate Corey. I pity the fool.
I shit
do
you
too.
not, Doug. This
Nice.
is exactly how last week's episode started.
Oh, really?
They
That's
tricked
funny.
me into like 10 minutes of music, and I was like, oh, wait, hold on, guys. Fuck you.
Guys, we're getting formulaic.
We're getting formulaic. up
Call
in
us
here.
the M's. Oh, anyway, what were we talking about, Rocky?
But I wasn't even here last week, so it can't be formulaic.
Well,
CSU.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
Culture Shock podcast. You know.
so, naturally, I
Hey,
get it.
Yeah, I was about to get derailed. You please go ahead.
I was going to say, naturally, I do get excited about 90% of our episode ideas. This is one I'm really excited to talk about these movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, to me, these aren't just some of the best like sports movies of all time. They're not some of the best dramas. They're just some of them are just some of the best movies in my opinion.
I honestly think this might be one of the subjects I took the most notes on.
Yeah,
I got them all up here.
These movies literally are the reason I
Mike's got
watch
nothing.
real boxing to this day.
oh really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Like-
Rocky is why I got into it, too. So.
Yeah, like I watched these as a kid growing up. I've seen these movies like almost the same amount of times I've seen the Back to the Future trilogy.
Wow, that's saying a lot for you.
I love the Rocky
And
movies.
and then you watch the real boxing, and you're like, oh shit! So they put their hands up when they're getting punched in the head.
yeah.
Every boxer doesn't get punched in the face for 12 rounds.
Like I've seen these movies a million times, so I didn't rewatch all of them, but I did just finish rewatching one like 10 minutes before we got together tonight. And I forgot he literally ate every jab that Apollo threw. and
Every
that
single
God.
one.
just boom, boom.
Well, another thing that might surprise you, Doug, is for the next 5 movies, he does the same fucking thing.
No. It's like I was like, yeah, that is him.
Hey,
How did he have 60-some fights without breaking his nose before
I
this?
know.
I know. And it's so funny when he's talking to Adrian. He's like, 64 fights, I never busted my. I'm proud of that.
well,
I'd be proud of
Hold
it
on.
too if I took 7,000 punches without breaking.
Spider Rico's a bum.
Spider Rica's.
if you saw that first fight at the very beginning of the first movie, it doesn't look like any fucking fighting was actually happening. So I'm not shocked that he never broke his nose. It just looked like they were hugging each other the entire time.
That's clinching, but it was overused.
It looked like a UFC fight between two guys that like to just grapple.
Judo.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, if you really think about it, it's like going into a high school football game and take the best high school football player and put them against the Chiefs this year. They're not going to do very well.
Just one of them, though.
They're going to get hit a lot harder.
No,
I meant one team.
I understand.
I meant one team. Sorry.
I understand what you're saying, though, but I'm just saying, like, in that very first fight that they show you, there was like, whoever did the choreography for that fight, there's
no choreography.
What year? Hey, what year was this movie released? Because
76.
76.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was the 70s. This is something I actually wanted to bring up early. Was like, I'm a fan of like classic movies, but it's hard to admit that acting, like the skill of acting back then, was a lot looser than it is now. Like it's like, but in this movie, I actually thought it had a lot of great acting, especially for its time. When compared to other movies at that time, we had like, Carl. You had Billy D. Williams giving his great performance.
You always go to Billy D.
Well, you got Carl Weathers and you got Billy D. Williams. One of them's a good actor. The other is Billy D. Williams.
And then there's Apollo Creed.
That's Carl. And then there's Apollo Creed.
Did you know, I don't know if any of you guys found this in your research, but when Carl Weathers got the role, he was working, like he was sitting across from Stallone reading lines. And he told the director, he's like, listen, I would be a lot better if I was working with a real actor here reading these lines. And they're like, this is awkward, but that's the guy that wrote the movie. That's Rocky. He's like, I'm sure he'll get better.
I like that he didn't back down.
After that, Stallone immediately said, hire this guy. I love this guy.
Hire this guy.
I mean, he needed an enemy, right?
Oh, I'm sure he'll get better.
They almost, I mean, as everybody probably knows by now, they wanted to do the movie and buy it, but not have Stallone be the actor. So
Right.
That's so fun. I've never heard that, actually. That's hilarious.
No, Stallone had $100 in his bank account. He sold his dog, so he had a place to live. And his dog, by the way, is Buttkiss.
No wonder he was so happy to get Buttkiss back.
Hey, Buttkiss!
It was probably even his name, the dog's name in real life too.
Yeah, no, he had to sell his dog in order to keep a roof over his head and for food. He had $100, and the studio offered him $330,000 for the script, and he turned it down.
No. I thought it was really cool. The guy that bought the dog from him sold it back to him and said, I'll sell him back to you. Just let me have a cameo in the movie.
And he said, I'll sell him back to you for significantly more than I bought him for.
Well, yeah, for about $330,000.
Yeah, what a pal.
The saddest part about that story you just told, because it sounds super uplifting, is that nowadays Rocky owns no rights. Sylvester Stallone owns 0 rights to the franchise.
Yeah,
that's why he's not in Creed 3. He got out.
He said that they killed him off in Creed 3.
He lost any and all creative control over
they
the
did kill him off, but outside the universe of the movies.
They just like, fuck you, you're gone.
It's kind of like Adrian, like off screen.
Well, that was actually
it's actually like a shitty thing, Mike. It's not like a bad.
I know, but the Adrian thing was both Talia Shire and Sylvester Stallone's decision.
Oh yeah.
They said it made more sense.
I didn't realize we're talking about that. Okay.
That's what Adrian brought up. He said with Adrian being dead.
It just meant more for the story that Sylvester Stallone was trying to find himself in Balboa.
Yeah. Besides,
it's better that he tried to find himself if Adrian isn't alive anymore.
Besides, let's be real. If Adrian was still alive, she would have said, "No, Rocky, you can't fight."
Fuck you, Adrian's great. I I love that character.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Even rewatching Rocky 1, I thought she was one of the best fucking her character was great. She did that character so
she
much
has
justice.
The best character development out of any of the characters, honestly. But she absolutely in Rocky Balboa would have been telling him, "No, you are not fighting."
Yeah,
as she should.
Oh well, yeah. He shouldn't have been fighting.
This medical review board, we can't in good conscience say yes to this. You're broken in every way. Your body doesn't work anymore.
No, he passed all the physicals and stuff that they asked of him.
And then they were like, the crippling arthritis and all this is probably a reason you shouldn't, but here you go.
These movies do, as great as they are, and then there's Rocky 5.
Fuck you.
They do kind of forget like some of their own continuity. Like in the second one, he's like, he can't see out of his right eye. Like he's going blind.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
and then after 4 he has brain damage, but he fights.
But you know what? Yeah, because what does the doctor say in 5? That if he gets punched just the right way,
He'll literally die.
He'll be a vegetable, or he could die.
He'll literally die.
And then
he gets in the ring and goes the distance again.
No, he proceeds
at
to
age
get
56.
Getting punched in the face 77 times.
No, he proceeds to get in a street fight with no gloves and gets punched in the side of the head
by the current world champion.
Not only punched in the side of the head, thrown onto cop cars and tackled on the cement. And his head bounces off the
Doesn't he hit a garbage can too?
Yeah.
And then 16 years later, he gets into a fucking ring with a championship boxer where he has really no business being in.
Yeah, after the medical review board listed off the many reasons he shouldn't, and then gave him a stamp of approval.
Yep.
Fuck it, you're Rocky Balboa.
At least in that movie,
And I loved it.
They do address that because they even said if something really bad happens to him, their committee's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, fuck it. Here you go.
That's why he actually ended up fighting the Russian in 4.
The
Ivan
Russian.
Drago. Well, they called him the Russian in the movie.
Okay,
Ivan
I was
Drago.
gonna say, come on.
But he ended up fighting Ivan Drago against the board's wishes. They didn't want him to go to the Soviet Union and fight over there because they were in the middle of a spat.
The Cold War.
And he decided, you know what? I'm doing this against
just
their
a
wishes.
little spat.
Rocky ended the Cold War.
He did. He ended the Cold War. If I could change and you could change, we could all change.
Most ridiculous part of Rocky 4 is when he changed the world.
I actually
Rocky ended
put
the
that.
Cold
I
War, quite
actually
literally.
put that out of my mind altogether.
Rocky's strong now.
And then in 5, he lost fucking everything.
He is not
Which
man.
is-
He's
It's
iron.
Mine.
Paulie's fault.
And it's all Paulie's fault, and that was my most hated part of 5. Other than all the shit that happens in that movie, the thing I hated the most was that he climbed for 4 movies to be literally save the world. And then Paulie lost all his money.
Dude.
He ended up back in Philly.
Dude, it was straight up a shonen anime like Dragon Ball Z. Let's be real. He rose to the challenge and then got it all taken at the end.
To be fair, let me just ask you this: if you thought, unless Adrian was the one looking at that paperwork, if Rocky looked at that paperwork as well,
Yes.
he would have fucking signed it too. I mean, Rocky's not the most brilliant person.
As dumb as they portray Rocky to be in the later movies, he would never have been dumb enough to give Paulie his power of attorney.
I don't think
So
so.
who the fuck did that?
He must have done that like
During a brain damage.
He must have done that.
Oh,
Yes.
good, Paulie.
after the first loss.
Paulie probably asked him while he
No.
was like,
Oh, Paulie, yeah, sign these papers, Rock. Okay, Paulie.
okay, Adrian, you got it.
Okay, edit that out. Anyway.
After the
No, that was
first
accurate.
fight. After the first fight with Clubber Lang, he probably signed that. Paulie ran over with that contract and was like, "Hey, sign this, Rock."
Okay.
Paulie had no idea what the fuck. Like, he's stupid too.
Paulie is stupid, but he's also a bit of a scam artist, and he's selfish. So if
Oh,
he
for
thinks he
sure.
can get something out of it, he's going to get something out
But
of it.
Rocky's he bought him the robot.
That fucking stupid ass robot.
I love
Worst
that
part of
robot.
4.
Paulie literally, no, not the worst part.
One of
Not
the
the
worst
worst
parts.
Paulie
Bullshit.
literally has the weirdest job interview ever with Rocky. Tries to fight him in that parking lot, and then he ends up with a job.
That is great. He's like trying to fist fight him. He's like, "Can I have a job?" All you had to do was ask.
So,
Yeah.
so I binge watched all these movies.
That's guys
so
in
we
a
could do this
nutshell.
episode.
Yeah,
And the entire time I was
Paulie
watching
sucks.
these, I kept asking the same question to myself: why the fuck is he still friends with Paulie? Like,
Right,
because
he,
it's
he
Adrian's
hates
brother.
on
Because
him.
it's his wife's brother.
yeah.
But then
brother-in-law.
was he? But he was friends with him before he was with Adrian. So
Paulie was a drunk idiot, but we all kind of have that friend. Paulie didn't become a complete shit
I'm
egg
that
until he
friend.
started.
Can we
Yeah.
not forget that Rocky was literally a bone breaker for the 2-bit mafia?
You're a leg
Yeah,
breaker.
yeah, that part I forgot completely about.
And- yeah, he's not a great person.
He's got heart though.
Can I tell you one thing though that's complete bullshit about that storyline? That dude that he works for just lets him off. There should
All
have
the
been
time.
a bigger. No, I'm saying like when he got rich and
When he went-
famous, he didn't even come work for me, or you owe me this for all those years, or I'll break your leg if you don't do this. Nothing. There's no fucking way that would have happened. That dude would have felt like he was owed something.
See, I have a headcanon for this. He made Rocky suck him off behind the fight.
Well,
after- before he
That
let it
that
go.
might be true.
Rocky said, "I ain't never sucked a dick before, but
But then again, I never had my nose broke either.
Mick told you it's part of my training. Well, all right, let's do this.
That's too articulate. That was Rocky too.
She said I had to lay off the dame at the pet shop before the fight,
Shut up.
but it
I'm
didn't
gonna
say
run
you.
this. I'm gonna run this line again. Oh, sorry, everybody. Just make me guy. I look at you.
That's Rocky too, Rocky. There you go. You got
Rocky, you're a bum. If you want to be a champion, you got to suck a couple of dicks.
Now that we're in the realm of this very uncomfortable sexual tension, can we get to the scene where Rocky is literally trying to force Adrian to stay in his apartment?
He did it in a suave way.
He didn't. He walked her through an apartment.
Can we not be the guys that picks on the 1976 movie?
Hold on.
Chauvinistic
Hold on,
portrayal
hold on.
of
No,
the relationship.
Wait,
It-
let Corey
this
go.
is-
And
this
I
is
have something
valid.
to say as well.
Because I think I know where Corey's going with this, and we agree.
He put his hand on the door and
There's a lot more to it than that.
trapped her in the corner.
Corey, go.
He just walks her through this apartment that nowadays, if the guy was acting like this in a movie, it would be
Cuff and
right
link.
before he attacks her.
Yeah.
He walks past a fucking standing up mattress with a Bowie knife sticking out of it.
he's Rambo.
Clearly,
You guys
Clearly
don't have
a
one of
serial
those.
yes,
Rambo.
Doug, but where's your girl behind you? You don't
Aw.
have one.
Well,
because,
there is this closet thing that I let her out of once.
Well, yes.
and then the
See?
robot comes
See?
out. Hello, Doug.
See, Doug just proved that nowadays that would be a horror movie.
Oh shit! Am I the
She's
bad
locked
guy?
in the.
Okay,
Yes.
here's my honest opinion. I do get where Doug's coming from. Set in 1976 was a very different time. Now that is one scene in that movie that's problematic. I think, in another sense, he was not smooth with it. But I do think Adrian is a person that was like so shy that she would never come out of her shell unless maybe
Okay.
he was aggressive.
Here's where you're absolutely right. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll call your brother. Hey, Paulie, your sister's
was-
with me.
Here's where you're right. She was super shy, and he needed to find a way in there.
Yeah,
But is that locked in his apartment with a Bowie knife sticking out of a mattress?
absolutely.
Or
it
could
is.
he take her to a mutual location, like
No.
her apartment?
No.
Well, Paulie was there.
Yeah.
All he has to do is give Polly a bottle.
No, I
and
was
send her
kidding.
the bottle.
That was a joke. See, I get what you're saying. Here's the thing. If we had got to the next scene, I would call it problematic if we got to the point where she said no again at that point, and he still doesn't move, and then I call that
Her
actual
going
problem.
along with it at the end is the only thing that saves that scene, and then her staying with him.
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna say. As problematic as that scene is, like the many times she says she shouldn't be there, that she should go home, all that shit. It's
Stockholm
it's
syndrome.
basically baby, it's cold outside all over again. Anyway, that's kind of essentially what it boils down to, because Rocky wasn't doing it to be a creepo, as you know, Marie says.
Screw you, creepo.
He was doing it because he knew that she was never going to come out of her shell if he didn't somehow put her in a very uncomfortable uncomfortable position to come out of her shell.
That's how I
Like
see it.
right
but-
after that scene, like she clearly is super into him.
Oh yeah.
She
She's,
just
like, rubbing
needed that
his
little bit
back
of a
and-
push. I'm not necessarily saying that he went about it the right way, but it
Right.
ended up working out in both of their favor.
Was that the right setting to do it? Probably not. But
Plus, it's 1970s Philly. Everything was a little harder.
They were all
Yeah.
poor.
They were all poor. They were all kind of dangerous.
that's
so-
just what poor people.
That's kind of what. No, like that's what I'm kind of getting at. It's not like they were all in like the ghetto, clear, like a Philly's ghetto, clearly.
Yeah, it wasn't even a good neighborhood.
like he's
It was
yelling
a
at
very
a
bad
12-year-old girl not to become a
Even-
whore.
even
Sit
the-
on a street corner, like.
Screw you, creepo.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of things in the first Rocky that people watching when the 2023 lens would probably be like, "Ugh."
That's what I mean. It was 50 years ago.
It was 50 years ago. Yeah.
We got just cut it a little slack.
And that's why it still holds up, and that's why that scene's still in there, because it
And
ends
that's
up
why no
fine.
one has ever complained about that scene seriously.
Well,
That's actually not true.
I've heard
Seriously,
people.
I said.
There are lots of things on the internet that people don't like that, but it
That's why I
doesn't
said
bother me that much.
Yeah, the internet's not serious.
No, never.
Most of the time,
Um,
it's stupid.
But aside from that, no, Rocky and Adrian have probably it spans over how many fucking movies, a very beautiful relationship.
Yeah. Adrian is always like his voice of reason.
Even as before we started recording, I was kind of trashing on her a little bit for Rocky 4. Like, she's only ever done anything out of the best interest for him and their family. It wasn't like she was trying to like say fuck you, Rocky, but I do kind of understand. Like, I do still stand by the thing where, like, don't fucking tell your husband who's about to go into this fight with a big ass, Russian that he's gonna lose. Like, that's not like way to fuck up his psyche.
I 100% disagree.
Yeah, when she says, "You're gonna lose, you piece of shit."
If they hadn't had that moment, he would have lost that fight. He needed to hear those things, and she knew that.
I think he wouldn't have won that fight if she wouldn't have come to Russia.
Yeah.
Like, her finally coming around and coming to Russia, I think, is what helped. It's a very common theme in all these movies. Every single time there's an issue with him and Adrian, he doesn't get to being Rocky again until that issue is resolved, or she's like suddenly like, yeah, you know what? Like in 2, she's like, after she has the baby, and she's like, she's like,
is the most emotional that he is about it.
Yeah, like, because he's not into his training seriously when he knows she's not okay with it.
Yeah,
Like,
3, she's just kind of in the background until she finally has that really awesome speech on the beach.
Speech on the beach.
Is like which is probably one of my favorite Adrian moments, honestly, is, she like forces him to admit that he's afraid. Overall, she is easily, like, they are perfect for each other.
Yeah. I'm just not of that mind that you always have to be like encouraging, and sometimes you got to say the things that they need to
that
hear.
are hard to hear.
Yeah, and I think that's important.
For some people that works, but in the essence of these movies, that's not what he needed.
I don't know. I think it worked out.
In 5,
because she came around.
I'm glad that she was like that in 5, because she got him to see that he was being a total douche to his real son.
Yeah. I even like I like the way he explains it in the first movie, in the simplest Rocky way. He doesn't give a big speech about like loving her. It's just like when Paulie's like, "What do you see in my sister?" He's like, "We fill gaps." He's like, "I don't know
that's
how."
Perfect. Yes,
I love it. Like, that's the Rocky way of explaining. We fill gaps.
He's like, I have gaps and she has gaps, and together
we fill gaps.
You like
right.
For as easy it is to make fun of like Rocky's dialogue in this movie, it's actually really good in a way.
He says a lot of like good shit. Like, there's a reason these movies are inspirational.
Yeah,
and it's not just because he wins. Most of
fuck,
the fights.
in Rocky 1, there's like 20 minutes of boxing in like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah,
movie.
these are not like largely boxing movies. It's a love
really
story.
Like 4 has probably the most boxing.
Although the matches at the end of each of these movies is satisfiably long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was too short or anything.
Rocky 4 is fucking 32% montage, and that's a true stat.
And every minute of it is glorious.
It's too much.
I have written down here in my notes just abs and oil everywhere in these movies.
Yeah.
Every movie I'm like, well, here's the montage, and there's the abs, and there's the oil.
Wait, guys, I love the Rocky movies. There's tons of oiled abs, and I don't have a girlfriend. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, that was the one thing Amber kept saying every single time, like they were about ready to fight. She's like, "Can you imagine washing all that oil off?"
I think Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 got to like Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 got to the 80s, and that's kind of when it became like the Top Gun era of movie. Like, that's when it became oil them up, and fucking Rocky and Creed running on the beach in their crop tops.
that whole thing between Rocky and Creed in the third movie. So
it's weird.
You ready? All right. I'm gonna blow your minds. Corey's the only one that knew this.
Yeah,
I had never seen 2 or 3 until I did this watch through.
Wait, so you watched 1, 4, 5, 6 in the Creed movies?
I have yet to see.
He still hasn't seen the Creed movies.
Leave that silence in.
So I'm guessing we can't answer the question of who won that fight at the freeze frame, since he hasn't seen the Creed
we will
movies.
not be discussing anything Creed or details that Creed give about the Rocky movies.
That's stupid, damn it.
But so my first time watching those 2 movies, mind you, I love 2. 3 has some questionable moments, but overall I enjoyed all of them overall. Not gonna lie.
3 is amazing.
I love Rocky 3.
The moment with Hulk Hogan is actually really funny.
Thunder Lips.
He just picks him up.
You went a little. Why'd you go so crazy there?
Gotta give him a show. While I have you, can I get a Polaroid? Sure.
I didn't have a problem with Mr. T. I thought, he was kind of what the movie needed.
Dude, he was exactly what an 80s boxer was.
He was perfect. Did you know that
Clubberline.
was his first appearance ever in film?
Yeah, it was
he
before
crushed
A-Team. It was...
Yep.
He had the look, the delivery.
Yeah. For the early 80s, that was perfect.
I didn't look this up, but is this where Pity the Fool came from?
But from my research, it said that it was kind of the start of where Pity the Fool came from. Yeah.
I mean,
Arnold
Wow.
found him. Arnold found him on some kind of competition, and that's why he recruited him for this movie. And he used Pity the Fool.
You mean Sylvester Stallone?
What'd I say?
Arnold.
And I
was really
believed you. I was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger
he said, "I believe it."
Mr. T. Like,
No, so
fuck.
Stallone
It's a weird sentence.
Stallone found Mr.
Right.
T in some kind of like strongman competition, and
Okay.
Mr. T was saying "Pity the Fool" during that.
Pitiful.
Okay.
Okay,
But this
Pitiful.
I didn't mean like in his personal life. I mean like
This is when it started, like
Media.
with movies and
Yeah.
TV.
okay, because when he said it, I was like,
I don't hate Balboa. I pity the fool.
I know. That's kind of actually endearing that he says, I don't hate him.
Yeah,
I just want to beat his ass.
I just want to kill him.
Are you guys familiar with the Robot Chicken sketch? With
No.
the Foo Fighters and Mr. T teaming up to fight Foos together?
No,
That's what you do. You fight Foo. Oh, Mr.
That-
T,
that
you've been the
sounds
biggest
amazing.
Foo of them all. Oh, you must use all your courage and power because I will be your greatest. And they just hit him with a guitar and walk away.
No, I'm
sounds
not familiar
amazing.
with that.
But the whole purpose that I started talking about 3 was the whole thing between Apollo and Rocky was very awkward. Like,
I loved it.
Oh, yeah. I thought they had a great bromance.
no, it was a great bromance, but Apollo was almost like too.
He's talking about
too
the way they're
obsessed.
jumping and hugging in the water with half t-shirts on.
That was the
Hey,
80s.
That was the 80s.
It's
Yeah.
still weird.
And did they really need to zoom in on the thighs when they're running on the beach?
You didn't bitch about that in Baywatch. Anyway.
I never watched Baywatch.
Liar.
I didn't have TV growing up until I was like,
Oh, yeah. You suck. That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
You're one of those pores we were talking about.
yeah, one of
We
those,
were
one of
way-
those criminals, as Paulie says in
Mike
Balboa.
probably had more money growing up than the rest of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we were all poor.
Combined.
Like combined, we
Hey, Adrian,
are
Adrian,
a family of one
Adrian, any predictions for your childhood? Pain,
with a side of poor and hunger.
poverty.
Hunger.
Thank you, Clever.
I hunger. Oh, sorry. That's,
Coward.
I'm literally gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
I'm gonna eat ramen and I'm gonna crap. I don't know.
Thunder.
Ramen.
I didn't think that. Yeah, ramen. I didn't really think this through. No, but Mr.
I'm gonna eat raw and I'm gonna crap men.
Here's a fun fact.
Whoa.
Mr. T took his mom. I don't know if you guys had this wrote down. Mr. T actually took his mom to the premiere of this, and his mom got so upset when he was talking to Adrian. Hey woman. She got up and walked out of the theater. He said, "Mom, it's a role. Like She said, "I did not raise you that way." She got so mad. She hated Clubber Lang. She fucking hated him.
Wow.
A
yeah.
lot. You know, a lot of people actually do hate Clubber Lang.
But yeah, all right. It's just so funny.
You're
That's his
supposed
first.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the point.
He's He's way more of an antagonist than Apollo Creed ever was.
Paul Creed was
Yeah.
never an antagonist. So that was
Apollo
wrong.
Creed was just flashy and
He
was
just had a
arrogant.
big mouth. He was Muhammad
I love
Ali.
Apollo
He
Creed,
wasn't
though.
very flashy in the second one.
He was Muhammad Ali. But
Sorta,
But
yeah.
he got
Yeah.
flashy again in the fourth one though.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I did. Living in America.
Every
Dude,
single
He's
time he got flashy, he got.
Dude,
got
he
his-
was so
got the best of him.
flashy in 4 that he even got a slowdown montage as he
Hell
fell dead
yeah.
to the ground.
Oh.
And a fun fact about that moment when he fell to the ground and twitched, he did so good that the doctors rushed up and they thought he was actually like, they thought he was actually in danger. He said, "Motherfuckers, I'm
shit.
acting."
He's a fucking good actor.
That's what I was saying at the beginning, yo. Carl Weathers.
He is a great actor. Yes.
And also in that movie, Stallone always liked to get hit a few times for real, just to feel the pain. He told
All right.
Dolph Lundgren, hold on, don't interrupt my fact, fucker. He told Dolph Lundgren to hit him as hard as he could. Dolph punched him in the chest and literally shifted his heart, and it started to swell up. He had to go to the ICU.
Jesus.
Dolph
When he-
Lundgren was legit.
When he
Oh,
got
he
to the
was, yeah.
hospital, at first they didn't want to pay his insurance because they thought he was lying, and he was actually in a car accident. That's how hard he fucking hit. I must break you.
I
Apparently-
will.
Apparently, Stallone was
It's
not gonna
I
buy-
will break you, not I must. No, it is I must break you.
Yeah, Doug.
I have a bit of a fact here that kind of connects to your little thing that you
I have a
just said.
little factoid.
Let me push my glass. I'm gonna push my glasses up, and I'm going to do this fact now.
Here comes Corey's
No.
fun facts.
I just want to say that what I have written down here is that Rocky 100% would not have beat Drago ever because
Right.
when they first of all he's jacked up on steroids. They show that a couple times, and
That was Mountain
here's
Dew
the,
they were shooting
Mike,
him
shut
up
the
with.
fuck up. Here's the stats.
Gamer
All right.
juice.
Oh, we got stats.
He punches at 2150 psi, which
I love that you
is
got this.
8,600 pounds of force, more than 4 tons. That's 1/3 of a car hitting you at 30 miles an hour. So no,
He hits harder than a Shaolin
he
monk.
would not have fucking won that fight.
So it's either a car hitting you at 10 miles an hour or 10 horses hitting you at the same time.
No. Oh, no. Extra fun fact. 1 horsepower does not equal 1 horse. 1 horsepower equals approximately 3 horses.
Whoa.
Oh my god, so it's 30 horses.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare.
And Rocky got hit with 30 horses about 60 times and won that fight.
What if Rocky was actually a horse?
I would watch that.
And he was played by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
You'd probably be able to understand him a lot better.
Guys, give it time. The remake is coming.
It probably
The
is
Rocky
now.
remake. Yep, everything's getting remade.
Well, now that he
Well,
doesn't have rights,
no.
you can't stop it.
Instead of remaking it, they just kept making more movies, which I'm more okay with than remaking.
Yes, but Mike, now he doesn't have the rights anymore. They can do whatever they want with it.
Why no?
Yeah.
Well, that's they
And
got
Money
Creed
Studio,
now.
Money Studios, basically Money Studios.
Dude, can we not pretend like Creed 3 doesn't look like it's going to be one of the box office hits of the year? Can we not
yeah.
pretend like that?
Oh, it's gonna be. I guarantee it's gonna be a great movie.
Jonathan Majors in another movie this year already? Come on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
The one club that I'm actually platinum member of sent out invites to watch Creed 3 on March 1st instead of the 3rd.
Oh shit!
I could go see it 2 days early if I wanted to. Or if I had the time, actually, is the real problem. So we're kind of jumping around, but I want to circle back to the first movie because I had something I really wanted to say about Mickey, who in the history of movies is one of the most notable like trainers or influences for a character ever.
He's
in
the
movies.
most prolific, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wise old man trainer.
The thing,
guy.
the thing
But
about
I-
Mickey is he's so fun.
He
Mickey,
did-
blows
he's so
my
fun.
mind.
He blow my mind. Oh, Mickey.
I mean, he's so prolific that they brought him back for Rocky 5 for some of those
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah, and he gave him the gloves.
But on the other side of that, I feel like the way he just turned Rocky away and then crawled back when Rocky got a chance
Yeah,
was a little like Rocky actually had the right idea when he said, "I do have a fight, but I don't got a locker, do I, Mick?"
Yeah, right.
He was right to say that, and he probably should
Yeah.
have let Mickey walk away.
That was great because the way they shot that too, with like the shadow
Yeah.
over one of Stallone's eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, "But I don't have a locker, do I, Mick?"
See, I that was a scene that I took. I was like, man, this might be my favorite like sequence in the whole movie. Actually,
Oh,
was
I
like
love
their
that.
argument
when
and
Rocky was
like,
yelling.
losing his mind.
I'm gonna get my teeth kicked in.
But I actually thought it was like really impressive, especially for that time to write a character that swallowed his pride and went back down and grabbed Mick anyway.
In the end, him chasing Mickey down and having him be his trainer was good for the movie and was good for the story. But in real life, I feel like he would have just pushed him away.
Did you notice that when he runs up to him outside and he goes to shake his hand, Mickey kind of like jumps like, is he gonna hit me?
He's gonna fuck me up. That might be my favorite part of Rocky.
See,
honestly, is
like,
that whole
actually, yeah.
Stallone blow up, like
Yeah.
because it's so there's so much pain in his voice. Pain, no, but there's so much pain in
Thank
his
you, Clever.
voice. He's like talking to Mickey, like, at least you had a prime. Where's my prime? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my teeth kicked in.
Like, I like that scene for two reasons. One, Mickey, the old man, he, even though it seemed slimy, he knew he just fucked up, but he knew he had shit he could teach Rock, so he came anyway.
Yeah,
He tried to blow past the whole "I just fucked you over" thing, which I was like, that's typical old dude, right? Then Rocky swallowing his pride and coming down and chasing him down anyway. I just think that was like really well done. I think that was.
It was great.
I think it was all the. Yeah, I agree with you though. In real life, that wouldn't have happened, but maybe you should think about doing it if you're in a situation like that. Just swallow your pride and go down the stairs anyway when you don't want to.
if you want to give Mickey some points, he did say earlier in the movie, like, I always knew you were a good fighter. You went down the wrong path. Like, I
That's
saw
what
a
Mike
lot.
was about to say.
Oh, sorry. Mike, do you want me not to say it? You can...
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
Pretty sure that's what he's been trying to say for
I
the
was,
last 2.5 minutes.
I was just trying to be respectful instead of interrupting anybody. That's fine.
So, Mike, what was your take on the whole Rocky and Mick thing?
But before you explain that,
Check out Baker
Well,
Reviews.
like you were, no, Adrian, kind of like what you were saying was, like before that whole happened, like when he takes his locker away, Mick even says to him, like, because Rock's like, "Why are you always down, like dogging me?"
I love that scene too.
He fucking flips out and yells at him. It's like, because you basically call him wasted potential. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, you could be doing this. Plus, he said he didn't want to keep training somebody that was working for the mob.
Exactly. Like, you went down a path. He said, it's 11. It's a waste of life.
Yep.
I love that.
I mean, I see both sides, but really, both of them, nobody was really in the wrong there. Mickey crawling back to him after he got his shot was kind of, that was kind of weird, shady, but
I don't think it was shady because of their relationship.
If you want to see Mick in a positive light, I think Mick always believed in Rock. He got into a bad line of business. Mick, like, cut himself away from it. But maybe seeing that Rocky has this huge opportunity, caring for Rocky, he's like, man, kid, you have the potential to, like, give this a go, but you need help. Like, you can leave, you can give this past life up that I hate. You can get away from that. You can make a name for yourself. Let me help you. So, but I do see how it could, like, say he's riding on his coattails.
That's the other side of it is, yeah, his intentions were probably a little more pure.
Yeah.
But it came off as slimy the way
it
he
did.
jumped back in.
It's like your family contacting you after you hit the lottery, like, hey, how you been, buddy?
That's why I think it was so, like, crazy that for a movie from, like, 76 that he wrote it that way. That
Oh, yeah.
even though it seemed slimy, he knew he was doing the right thing by coming back to him.
I tried to, like, I tried to keep it in my head that this was a 70s movie in a rough area in Philly. Their mannerisms, their attitude would all be different than what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
I try to keep that in my head when I'm watching that.
And I think Rocky's a little bit guilty in that moment. The same thing that Paulie did to Rock in the third one. He's like, can I have a job? After he tries to fight him. And Rocky says, all you had to do was ask. And the first one, Mick says, like, kid, if you wanted my help, all you had to do was ask me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Rocky ever truly came up and said, hey, will you be my trainer? Like,
Well, yeah.
I think they just kind of had this animosity and, like, well, no pun intended, Rocky relationship. And Mickey literally said, like, Mick, I didn't even mean to do that, but Mickey literally said, like, it's kind of heartbreaking. Like,
That got me. I don't know why.
Rocky's, like, hiding away in the bathroom, and, like, Mickey just saying, like, kid, all you had to do was ask me. Like, just the way he says it, it's like, that's heartbreaking.
When he walks out of the bathroom, sees Mick still there, and walks right back in and shows
I actually had the thought that was unintended. Like, he actually just forgot the hat. So I had to come back real quick. I was like, that seems...
That kind of mirrors Adrian going to hide in the bathroom when Rocky comes to, like, take her on a date that she doesn't know about. He's like, hey, Adrian, it's me again. I don't really know how to talk to a door. I never talked to a door.
But
keeps looking at Paulie like, fuck you for making me do this.
he did ask Paulie about 45 times.
She knows I'm coming, right?
Right?
Paul's like, oh, yeah, she's real excited.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's get into it. Paulie is such a piece of shit.
Along came
really
Paulie.
Like, the only thing redeeming about this character...
Fuck you, Burt Young. No, I'm sure you're you're a nice guy.
The only thing redeeming about this character is his one line in Balboa when he says, he says how hard it is for him. He's like, you were good to her. I was a piece of shit to her. Like that. Like, at least he fucking knew.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he's still alive.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still alive.
No. My favorite Paulie moment was in Rocky IV when they're going to the ring. A genuinely human moment from Paulie is he's getting ready to go fight Drago, and he says, like, hey, Rock, I'm not really good at this stuff, but if I were to unzip myself and be anyone else, I'd want to be you because you're all heart. And he, like, gives him a kiss on the cheek. Like, that's a nice moment.
And then he ruins it. He's like, remember all that stuff said about wanting to be you? I changed my mind.
He sees Drago. He's like, I changed my mind.
No, Paulie had his moments. He had his moments that were funny.
Few.
They were,
like, you can clearly
okay,
tell
but...
all the characters from Rocky were, like, written to be, like, damaged in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Paulie's an alcoholic the entire time. Not once does he stop drinking.
Listen, that's the friend you don't... That's the friend you don't want to have, though, because every time Rocky succeeds, he's insanely jealous of him.
Yep.
Every time.
Dude, I never noticed it. Amber pointed it out to me, but his fucking binoculars was a flask at one point.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because Rocky even says something like in the parking garage when Paulie's trying to fight him. I can't remember how he words it exactly, but he's like, Paulie, you're not like a bum. You're not a loser. You're just a lazy alcoholic, like self-entitled. Like you're not a loser. You could be something, but you do it to yourself.
I do kind of love because the Rocky gives him a watch, and he's all pissy about the watch.
Gives everybody a watch. What the fuck?
And then in Balboa, he's like, I thought when you retired, they gave you watches, not meat. He's like, I got a watch, Rock. I got 2 watches. You gave me a watch.
Yeah, right.
Like he fucking brings up the watch again.
Speaking of watches, that's one of the funniest lines Rocky do. He fucking, when he makes all that money and he's spending way too much. He goes in and buys her a watch. He says, do you like having a good time? Well, then you need a watch.
Everybody needs a watch.
He makes makes a time joke. Do you like having a good time? Then you need a good watch. She's like, Rocky, we need to get you one too. He's like, well, I'm not very good at telling time, but
I love how bad he is with money, but
oh my god,
my favorite little moment at the beginning of 2 when he's spending all that money is how excited he is about the bricks in the mailbox at the house they're looking at.
These are nice bricks. That's
these
nice.
Are nice bricks, man. Look at that mailbox.
I like that mailbox. I like that.
And then she says, "My husband's an expert on bricks." There's no reason to say that.
Yeah, and then
I love when he points at the numbers. He says, "Yeah, these almost add up to 9. That's a good omen, They were 2, 3, 1, 3.
They added up to
9. He said almost equal 9.
Yeah, that is honestly one of my favorite sequences of the movies is when he has all that money. He's like, I love animals, Adrian. Do you love animals? You see this black jacket with the tiger on it? I think I should get it before someone else does. What do you think?
Yeah. He says, but if I don't get it right now, someone else could,
Someone else could get it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And he goes in the house. I love this house. We should buy the house.
She's like, Rocky, we haven't seen the upstairs.
We haven't seen upstairs. I'm sure it's all details. It's fine. Let's buy it.
All details.
Like, no, Rocky, take a fucking look upstairs. This is a nice house. Don't you think I like
this?
The
guy comes up and he's like, yeah, all right, let's finish. He's like, hey, can I talk to my wife in private here? Oh my god.
I like when he's when they finally do announce that he finally calls Rock out as a chicken, and Rocky decides he is going to fight Apollo again.
Yeah.
And when they ask him, like, Apollo says all this bullshit at the press conference, they ask Rocky.
He basically does a smear campaign.
Yeah, and then they ask Rocky why he wants to win, and he just starts listing things he wants to buy with the money.
It. I'm going to get you Paul, you like the snow cones, don't you? I'm going to get you a snow cone machine. I like that little frog. What's his name? Kermit?
I think it pisses Apollo off because Rocky's like kind of treating it like a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which he's not meaning to. He's just being Rocky. He's like, I'm going to catch up on some bills.
So I'll tell you first thing I'm going to do is pay rent.
The first thing I'm going to do is pay rent.
Rocky's just like a kind-hearted guy.
He's like one of us in that aspect. Like, if we were to give that big of a payday, what was the first thing we would do? Take care of our debts. I mean, if you're smart.
Right. I would put it all in high interest.
I'd buy crypto.
Oh.
High yield bonds.
I'd invent a time machine and go back to 2008, then buy Bitcoin.
Wow, we just ruined Mike's. Fuck yeah, indeed. Like,
that reminds me of the one guy's like, have you ever thought about investing in condominiums? And he's like, condominiums? I've never used them.
I don't use them. Yeah. Oh god, I love that. I love that version of Rocky. Like, people forget the first 2 Rocky movies are fucking really funny.
Yeah.
They definitely have their moments.
He's real dumb.
Yeah, it's just like he's just so kind-hearted.
He's never really got, like, I mean, I guess in 4 he's kind of smart, but he's never really been
the one where he has brain damage.
He's never really been like an intelligent guy. But 4 is probably the smartest he's ever been, and then 5 he's got brain damage, so he's back to being stupid.
Here's the thing: I love 3 and 4, but I think that's kind of when it started feeling maybe like a little more like we're watching Sylvester Stallone, the action star, as opposed to watching the character of Rocky. Like, to me, he didn't feel as raw as he did in those first 2 movies.
Because he leaned out a lot more too. Like, he looked more like a movie star. He looked more.
He definitely
did.
He
himself did come up in life at that point.
Yeah,
he also. Yeah,
and that's why
scenes.
That's like a duality between the character and Sylvester Stallone that I've always had interest in. Is like as Rocky got more popular, Sylvester Stallone was too, and that came through in the writing and the movie.
And
so when it wasn't like you were watching the character Rocky or Sylvester Stallone. They were the same guy from the beginning. And
the same even with Rocky Balboa in 2006. That's kind of when Stallone had like gone into obscurity. People weren't really watching him anymore. And he kind of acknowledged that in Rocky Balboa, how he's like a has-been.
Yeah, how do you feel about having a restaurant named after you, Adrian?
Ask Heinz Ward.
No, I don't think any of us would know.
Ask Heinz Ward. He's my buddy from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really kind of Rocky to name a restaurant after me. I don't know him that well.
But did that affected his son a lot more than it affected him that he was a has-been? Rocky didn't really seem to care that he was a has-been.
Oh yeah, no. He just missed his wife.
Yeah, it was more his son that was like, "You're fucking my life up."
Actually, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think that's the whole reason he applied for to fight again. He wanted to prove that he could still fight.
Oh, that's not
I think
what I'm
he
saying.
was. I think he was starting to get upset that people thought he was a has-been. It was affecting his son negatively that he wanted to fight again.
I don't think he cared that people thought he was a has-been. I think he just wanted to
prove to himself that he still had it.
Like, because he still told all those stories, and he wanted to feel like they weren't just stories, you know?
Yeah.
No, I get that.
And the whole thing started because of a fucking video game simulation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What's his name?
The shittiest simulation ever.
Yeah. Tarver.
Adonis.
The real box?
Adonis, no.
The real box?
Creed. My bad.
Oh, no. I'm talking Rocky Balboa.
I know. I gave the wrong name.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the actor's name. What's his name in the movie? Like Mason Dixon?
Mason Dixon, yeah.
Yeah.
Mason the Line Dixon.
Like, the thing, he was so pissed about that fucking simulation. But the thing is, it's like, that was a prime Rocky against him. And, what are you going to prove by fighting an old man?
I think that's what he
Rocky
was mad
didn't give a
about
shit. Rocky didn't give a shit so much about the simulation.
No, not Rocky. The other guy.
The other guy. Yeah, the other guy was annoyed with it.
The other guy was so pissed.
I think the reason he was so mad is the same thing nowadays that people are always like, Jordan in his prime would definitely beat Kobe in his prime.
Oh, right.
That's not true.
It's an impossible matchup.
Yeah, there's no way.
First of all, it's an impossible matchup. Second off, even in a video game, if you do it 100 times, it's probably going to split pretty evenly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, Michael Jordan played at a time when it was mostly shooting and dunking was cool. Nowadays, dunking's kind of normal.
3 points.
And three-pointers are cool. So I think the people now are almost outscoring Jordan.
They would say the same thing about boxing. It's like, two different eras, man. You can't compare them. Rocky's era of the 70s is different than boxing in 2006.
Do I think the fundamentals Jordan had would translate to today's NBA? I don't think he would be the legend he is. He'd still be great.
Oh, we got hot
He'd
takes
probably
here on
still be in
Culture
the
Shock.
Hall of Fame, but I don't think he would be the star of the NBA.
This is the wrong episode for this, and you're fucking wrong. Anyway.
No, I see where it relates.
I don't like this. I don't like this conversation.
Corey's saying LeBron's amazing and Jordan sucks.
I don't like this conversation.
But that's why in Rocky Balboa, to bring it back to Rocky,
yes,
they say for the simulation that they gave both competitors the same equipment, the same skill, the same everything. If they were both in the same era of time.
What did
had
Rocky
access to the same training and everything?
It's just a simulation. You can't replace that. People actually perform.
They even said that this was all done without putting the human factor in mind.
Yeah. With Rockies, you'd have to put his heart up to 100.
And 110.
Until Ivan Drago almost punched his heart out of his chest.
Yeah.
IRL.
Yeah, IRL.
I think Mason Dixon was more mad about the sports broadcasters all picking Rocky.
I think so too, yeah.
Yep. I think he was more mad about that.
It was an ego trip. And it was mad because there's no way to prove it.
That's why he was
wrong.
upset.
And his house full of his posse were all watching him lose on screen.
He was losing face.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, all you can do by fighting an old Rocky is hurt your image.
Yeah.
If you win, you lose, and if you lose, you really lose.
Exactly.
And he didn't even want to do it. His promoters are the ones that wanted him to do the fight because they knew they could make money off of it.
Even during the press conference, when they're trying to pit them, to get mad at each other.
Yeah.
Mason Dixon stands up and says, "This is an exhibition. You guys are making it more than it needs to be.
Right.
If you keep talking, this man's going to get hurt." He looks at Rocky and says, "I'll see you in the ring," and he leaves.
Yep.
He's not trying to make this like Apollo did.
No, right. Or like Mr. T.
Or Mr. T.
Balboa, he's not really a protagonist or whatever. He's not
Antagonist.
Really like,
No.
that's what I meant. He's not.
Well, Rocky Balboa is a protagonist.
Yeah. No, in Balboa, there's really not an actual villain in the story. Like it's just a good movie.
Mason Dixon's cool with him. He tells them in the tunnel before they come out. He's like, "Look, man, there's no sense for either of us to get hurt out there." He said, "But if you come at me, I'm coming back at you."
Yeah, he's like, "If you push me,
yeah,
I'm gonna push you out quick."
I love Rocky's. He's like, "I'm not scared of you." Rocky's like, "You're not even a little bit scared."
Right, a little scared.
I love
That's
that.
so Rocky.
But why is it? You notice it's the same theme as the first Rocky. Both of his opponents underestimated him, and they found out. Like you don't do that.
It was the original fuck around and find out story, man.
Like let's talk about the best Duke character in the story.
Ivan Drago.
Nuke.
No,
the robot.
No, Duke, the trainer for Apollo Creed. Duke. In the first movie tried to explain to Apollo, dude, you don't want to mess with this guy.
Hey,
like,
Apollo, you should come watch this.
Well, yeah,
guy
he
you're
tried
about
to get him to
fight
watch
on
the
TV.
guy train. The very first thing he says when he sees his name and he just wants to fight him because his name's the Italian Stallion.
Sounds like a goddamn monster movie.
The Italian Stallion.
He's like, he's a southpaw. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to be messing with no southpaw.
Because they're
And he's
unpredictable.
like, no. He's the Italian Stallion. You imagine the fighting for that?
I do love that. He says Apollo Creed versus the Italian Stallion. Sounds like a goddamn monster movie. It really does.
And honestly, that was great foreshadowing for Rocky's downfall in 3 when he lost to Clubber Lang in the first fight. Because he let all
did the
those...
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, success get to his... Which, that's a telltale story about, like, all the fighters in real life. Like,
The fame.
look, Conor McGregor. Like, he was, like, the
Yeah.
best. And then he just fell apart after he got it. He wasn't hungry no more.
The whole training scene in 3 when Mickey's around and the bubbles are like flying around and shit. Just fucking crack me
He's
up.
so pissed.
He's so mad.
Which you would be pissed.
Rock, let's get back to the old gym and do it like the old days, okay? Oh, what are you talking about, Mick? This is great.
Yeah.
I have a very debatable question to ask though about 3. If Mickey isn't sick and dies, do you think Rocky would have still lost to Clubber Lang? Because his head was nowhere in that fight. He was only thinking about Mickey the entire time.
That was just one of many factors that played into that fight, I think.
I think he
would have
still would have
lost.
lost. Clubber Lang destroyed him.
Like, Clubber Lang was hungry. Like, that was the whole point, was he was hungry for the win. Like, he wasn't like, Rocky wasn't fighting to put food on his plate anymore.
Plus,
Clubber
Mickey
Lang
had
was.
been teaming him up against
Bums.
second-rate champions.
Bums.
Yeah.
Not even the good champions. Like
They're all bums, Rock. Bums.
so for 6 months, or for like what, 3 years, I think that it was. For 3 years, he was fighting people that weren't quite challenging him. So if you get in a place where you're complacent like that, and then somebody like Clubber Lang comes along, he's going to destroy you.
Pitiful.
And here's the thing, like, Creed also, even if Mickey was healthy, and unfortunately, Rocky didn't take the training seriously because the fame had gone to his head.
Yeah.
But even if Mickey was healthy and training him, like, I think Apollo taught Rocky something that Mick just couldn't. Like, he taught him the speed, the rhythm, like, dodging a little more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the first 2 movies, fucking Rocky was just like, he
was still a street fighter.
Yeah, that's what fucking Mr. T says, is like, Rocky's predictable. He just comes right at you. And that's why fucking Apollo teaches him, like, hey, dude, you got to fight like me. You need a little grace. You need a little speed.
That foot movement and the hand movements he taught Rocky
That's
were very
great.
crucial to him.
And that's why, listen, I know it only goes 3 rounds, but that second Rocky Clubber fight is one of my favorite because that's probably the best Rocky looks in any movie boxing.
You ain't so bad.
Yeah.
You ain't so bad.
He fucking dodges. He brings his arms up.
He keeps talking, come on.
And then Rocky 4 happens and he completely forgets all of that and just takes punches to the face again.
Like, I loved how he did all that training with the other camp and learned how to fight a different way. And like,
I heard someone say this and it's really good. In Rocky 3, Rocky became Creed and Mr. T was Rocky. So Rocky had to learn to fight like Creed to beat Mr. T. Like, he needed the finesse and he needed the speed and like, I just like that little comparison.
Like,
they made.
Clubber Lang came in and did what Rocky did, but better.
Exactly.
So he had to
but
learn
better.
a new way to get around it.
Exactly.
On the subject of like changing up your game, and Rocky 2, like they teach him to switch from southpaw.
Yeah.
And it has little to no effect in that fight.
Yeah.
You really
looks
don't even
cool.
notice a difference. It doesn't even throw Apollo off.
I was going to say, if anything, it actually made him fight worse at the beginning.
Well, he didn't go southpaw till the 15th round.
That's what we're saying.
That's what I
He
mean.
changed it
Like
up.
changing it up didn't seem to affect his fight at all. He still ended up fucked up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but he brought it out way too late. But like he took Apollo Creed out with a left hook because he was
He
fighting
did.
righty the whole fight.
Oh, I'm not
And
saying
then-
it didn't end well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, just learn. I don't think learning that he already beat Apollo. He didn't need to switch. Pause. I think he could have trained and just still beat Apollo.
Adrian, I'm with you here.
I'm shocked that he did that because even at the end when Mickey told him to do it, like to switch over to the southpaw, Rocky's like, I don't want to beat him with no tricks.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he
and
goes to it in the
no,
15th.
I do agree. I don't think that him fighting it didn't really do anything for him to switch it up.
Except that switching to southpaw and then landing a left hook with your dominant
At the very
arm and your
at the
dominant
very
stance.
end, it did. But like
Well, that's because
the
he
whole
didn't use it
purpose-
till the end.
Yeah, the whole purpose of that was to throw Apollo off at the beginning. Like, okay, wait, he's not fighting southpaw.
Yeah.
But it didn't throw Apollo off at all. The only thing that threw Apollo off was him switching back to southpaw.
Exactly. Like that's the point of that, though.
Yeah. That's what I think. But
Rocky almost didn't even do that. Like he said, he didn't want to do it with any tricks.
right.
That ain't no trick.
And then I think in the last round he was desperate because Apollo, the second fight more than the first, Apollo had his ass in points.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Apollo was fucking him up.
He was going to win that if he didn't knock him out.
I love how fierce Apollo came out in that second movie. He was pissed.
serious. He fucking didn't take him lightly this time.
Because at the end of the first one, like he whispers in his ear, "Ain't no rematch. I don't want one." And then the second one, I love. They're in the hospital. He's like, "You and me, Balboa, anytime." Rocky's like, "Hey, I thought you said you didn't want a rematch." He kind of throws that in his face.
I love like Apollo is such a like an orthodox
love Apollo.
outboxer. It was so and it was really well done. Like you can tell
Yes.
they really like looked into like boxing styles and like what it and made sure it made sense for them on the screen and everything for those movies. Like Rocky taking 45,000 punches to the nose. Typical Rocky Marciano.
He goes to him in the hospital. And he's like, "Did you give me your all?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did." But then in the fucking press conference, he's like, "I went easy on you."
Of course, yeah, because all the cameras are on. Today, in today's world, Rocky would be recording that with his smartphone. He'd be like, "No, he said right here, he gave me his."
Get fucked.
Rocky wouldn't know how to use a smartphone.
I was going to say if he could figure it out.
He knew how before Rocky 4.
Until Rocky 4 ended, yeah.
Yeah.
The slow motion punches in the first two movies cracked me the fuck up. They were supposed to be like meant for so you see how painful it really is, but every slow motion thing they did just had me in stitches, man. I was laughing my ass off.
300 did it better.
But do you know what the funniest camera thing they did in any of these movies? In 4, when he's in Soviet Russia training, there is a 3 different cameras of the guy raising the binoculars.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Why is there a 3-take slow motion of the guy going just to put binoculars up to his face?
Hey, listen, everything about Rocky 4 was over the top.
It was.
You're over
And
the
I-
top.
It was almost as over the top as over the top. That other movie.
As
was
over the
best one.
top. Yeah.
Also, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I love the whole hospital scene in Rocky too. Like, because again, Rock's just taking it as a joke. They're like, Rocky, what were you thinking there near the end of the fight, 14th round? He's like, oh, I was thinking I should have stayed in school or something. I just love how funny he is in those first two movies. He has the corny jokes with Adrian, like, what happens when you hit a turtle in the back of the shell? It gets shell shocked. Yeah, I'm gonna come up with another joke. I'm gonna tell it to you tomorrow, Adrian. I'll see you tomorrow.
That he says to her a couple times, we can go to dinner. I'll tell you jokes. You'll laugh. He says that a couple times.
He literally repeats himself like Adrian does when he's drunk.
Right?
true.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, but that's why they're the perfect complement, because like she doesn't talk at all, and he fills all those silences.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind, I don't know, marrying me
Marry
a
me
little
too.
bit or something.
She has her earmuffs on. She's like, "What?"
I was wondering if maybe marry me or something, you know?
Adrian, that car's coming right for you. What? Oh.
Yeah, and I love when they're like the ordained minister is fucking like marrying them,
Yeah.
and she's like, "I do." He's like, "Hey, thanks a lot."
Thanks a lot.
and then after he says like, "You may kiss the bride," he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, you did a real good job up there. talking to the minister.
He's a very down to
He's
earth
such
guy.
a genuine guy.
He really is. He goes to his window. He wants a blessing before the fight.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to go. I'm so late.
I'm so like,
I love that he does it again in 5, and Tommy Gunn's just like, "What? Why did you do that?"
And Sylvester Stallone's like, I love when he does that. And then he's so fucking fixated on the robes. Like in the second movie, he's like, "Hey, what do you
Yeah.
think of this robe, Mick? You like it?" And I think it's cute. He says,
It's better. It's better.
It's
than
a lot
last
better
year.
than that. Remember the
Which
last
is
one?
funny
It was all
because
loose.
that's exactly what I said when I saw it before you even said that line. I'm like,
You're like, yeah, that looks
way
nice.
better. That's way better than the first robe.
Because in the first one, he even says, "I don't know, it's a little loose,"
He's like, "What do you think of this robe?" I don't know.
and then
It's
he
kinda
brings
loose.
it back up in the second movie. It's better than that last one. It was really loose, eh?
Mick's like, "Yeah, it's real nice." Like he doesn't care.
like say what you want about Sylvester Stallone, but he wrote the hell out of them Rocky movies.
No,
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's definitely his like
That's his baby.
best. Oh yeah, I'm not big on the Rambos and stuff personally, but
I think
like
they're
Rocky.
okay, but yeah.
Well, he didn't exactly. He got the source. material
I've only
Rambo from
watched
a guy
one
that wrote a
Rambo
book,
movie,
so-
and it was okay.
and it was a book before it was a movie. So
Was it the
it's not
2005
exactly,
one, Mike?
It was the 2005
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
That one's mostly just him mowing people.
That one's
down.
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, it was all right.
So
I-
ridiculous.
I'm not even gonna lie because as huge of a Buffy fan I am, I only watched it because Julie Benz was in it.
But doesn't he take down an Apache helicopter with a bow and arrow?
Fuck yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's fucking
Why
Rambo.
wouldn't he?
Apache Black Hawk helicopter.
It's still to this day one of my favorite memes to use. They took the gun away and it's just him like this with his thumbs up, like when he had that 50 millimeters, like super thumbs.
That kind of gives me the same energy when John McClane takes out a helicopter with a fucking car. Like,
Fucking Jesus.
that Die Hard movies just got progressively
I
ridiculous.
love Justin Long's line there though. Did you just blow up a hospital with a cop car?
Dude, Live Free or Die Hard is so good.
Every action franchise eventually goes over the top. Just look at the Fast and Furious franchise.
Bro, they went over the top from the first one.
No, the first one's not terrible.
So, Mike, give us a quick plot synopsis of the first Rambo, First Blood. So, Mike, give us a quick plot synopsis of Rambo, First Blood. What'd you think?
Well, I see it picks up right where the last one left off.
Wait, First Blood?
Yeah.
Wait, was the last one Rocky
Actually-
5?
It was Blood Zero.
Do you know what? Ironically, if you asked me about that with the
negative.
Rocky movies, that would be true. Except for Rocky Balboa.
Except for Rocky Balboa.
Hey, Rocky Balboa definitely picks up right where 5 left off.
Yeah, 4,
2,
right, 'cause
3,
5
4,
doesn't
and
exist.
5 all pick up where the last
All
one
right,
left
all
off.
right, all right.
In 5, the best part of 5 is the first 3 minutes.
When they give the
I'm gonna
recap of
ask you.
4.
I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna go around the table and ask you guys some questions.
Okay.
Rocky 1. So we're gonna start with Rocky 1. I want to know what your favorite part is and your least favorite part is. We're gonna start with
Oh.
Corey
Okay.
Favorite part?
and least favorite.
Well, my least favorite part is probably like I just couldn't. I literally have written here, Paulie is a prick the whole movie. Seriously, fuck that guy.
So would you
Like-
say it's the same when he pulls out the baseball bat and starts smashing shit in his house?
Yeah,
And, like,
he's such
Oh,
a fucking
God.
drunk. He's such a fucking alcoholic piece of shit.
I don't know. I kind of that scene ends good because Rocky pretty much tells Paulie to fuck off.
Right.
not exactly. Paulie kind of has like a breakdown and he feels bad for him
Yeah.
and like just walks away.
I think I hate the scene more. I think it's just more pisses me off how Paulie forces like all this shit on his sister. So like the first, like
Yeah.
the Thanksgiving scene when he first shows up, essentially forcing her to go on this date with Rocky.
Throws the goddamn turkey out the back door.
Yeah, that pisses
Out
me
the
off. I mean,
window.
that's a
Or
fucking
Oh wait, that
turkey,
was the
man,
door. Go
That's
get
a
it out of the
turkey.
alley.
that she spent probably 4 hours on. Like, go
Yeah.
fuck yourself, Paulie.
I spent 4 hours on you. Put it in the oven, and 4 hours passed. And yes,
Do you realize how much prep goes into a turkey?
Turkey's fucking expensive too, and they're
I know.
they're not well off.
Well, wait. Were they expensive in the 70s?
I'm sure they still were.
It was probably like $2.
Yeah, but back
Which
then,
in the
$2
70s was expensive.
It was like an hour of work.
Because what
That's
did
a
Rocky?
lot.
What did Rocky end up getting for beating Spider Rico? He got like $40 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's like 80. Guys. Let's just talk about how much you got paid in turkeys from now on. You got 80 turkeys for that fight.
Wow. Yeah. And he had to get rid of like 5 of those turkeys for
Too
locker
many
and
turkeys.
shower privileges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turkey tax is real, dude.
Turkey tax.
That's
But,
still too
Court,
many
so
turkeys.
your least favorite, what is your least favorite scene? Is just all the Paulie ones where he's an asshole?
Yeah, I
I
just
can
don't
agree
like
with
Paulie
that.
at all in most of the movies.
So, what's your favorite scene?
Man, if I really had to break it down to a favorite scene in the movie,
Yeah, that's
It
tough.
might.
We don't.
Rocky
I was gonna do this per
Stallone.
movie, but that might be asking too much. So I'll just ask for like 1, 3, and 4. I think is what I'm gonna ask these questions for. Because I don't think 2 is a standout movie. It's perfectly fine. It's a
I don't
good
know.
sequel.
This is an extremely hard question on the spot.
I know. So you have to do this for 3 movies, guys. Corey's on the hot seat here, so you guys get a head start. I ask you the same questions. Think about it for 1, 3, and 4. And Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
God damn it!
Well, I'm glad you included Balboa because I feel like all of our answers are going to be the same for.
I
that
think
one.
those are the. I think we can honestly all agree that those are probably the big 4. I like the 6 movies. Those 4 are the ones that we all
Yeah.
like the most.
Because five's just garbage.
I have one of the ones that you're not talking about above one of the ones
2.
that you.
Oh, you like
Yes.
2 that much? Okay.
I like 2 more than one of the other ones.
Well, we're stalling for Corey here as much as we can. Corey, what's your answer?
I mean, without it sounding too cliche, I think it's just him going the distance against Apollo.
There's
Yeah.
nothing
I
wrong with
honestly
that.
think it's just the end where
beautiful.
he's telling Adrian, "I did it."
It brings
Or
man
we
tears.
did it.
We did.
We
yeah,
did it.
and Rocky too. It's I did it. He got selfish. Yo, Adrian, I did it.
That's a good.
She's like,
a
"Oh, wow."
But
good
but he said-
detail.
he still said yo Adrian, like he still cares about her. That's all right.
Yo, Adrian, fuck you, I did it.
I love when they're on they're on like the press conference thing and they're talking to him and he's at Paulie's house with Adrian. And he's on the TV like, "Hey, yo, Adrian, look at me, I'm on TV."
Oh, and Adrian, since you like 2 so much, I'm gonna include 2 in my question to you. So you have to have an extra one.
I
Right?
don't like 2 that much.
Mike, Rocky 1, favorite and least favorite part.
I would actually probably have answers for all of them, honestly.
Are we excluding like the actual fights? Well, I guess Corey just said when he went the distance. So
No, the fights definitely are included.
My least favorite I already talked about was the Thanksgiving scene with Paulie. My favorite has to be, I think when Rocky's talking to Adrian, and he's just mentioning how he's like, I don't want to win. I just want to go the distance with.
Oh, I
with this
love
guy,
that.
'cause
And
nobody
the-
ever has.
in bed the night before.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite scene. It shows you his character, like how he wants to be. He knows he probably doesn't have to stand a chance to win. He just wants to go the distance with him.
And that's what's beautiful about the movie is he does.
Rocky's self-awareness in the majority of these films, I'm not gonna say it's always there, but the majority of his of these films, his self-awareness is pretty good. So I love that about the character.
Yeah. And I love the way the ending of the original Rocky is played because, like, if you're not listening closely, the fact that Apollo won, it's like it's just background noise.
Yeah.
You don't even know. The point is he went the distance,
Yeah.
and Adrian loves him, and that's like the best moment of
You
his
got the
life.
guy, the fucking casters trying to get questions out of him. He's just yelling for Adrian.
He's just yelling
looking-
for Adrian.
And then it cuts to her yelling for Rocky and pushing through the crowd, something she never would have done at the beginning of the movie.
Yes. You know what's weird? It's just like a little, I don't even hate it about the movie, but like when she's looking for Rocky, like she knows he's clearly in the ring, but she's like looking around like, "Rocky?" Like,
yeah.
where are
You know where he is.
Her glasses fell off, guys. She couldn't
No,
find the ring.
she didn't have her glasses. There was her hat that fell off.
Her hat the fell.
I know, I know.
I love that when she gets in there, the first thing he's like, "Where's your hat?"
He's fucked up
Hey,
beyond belief. Hey, where's your hat?
Cut me, Vic. You don't want that. Cut me. All right, cut him.
Oh, that's rough when they cut open his eye.
And you see the
yeah.
blood just spread. I was like, oh,
Do you
it's
notice
so
how at the
raw.
beginning
I
of
love
2, when they're re-showing that, they do not show that part?
it. Pussies.
Pussies.
All right, Adrian, favorite and least favorite part of 1?
So some of these we're probably gonna have similar answers. Paulie's a shit. I fucking hate him in pretty much every movie. He has like
What?
he has 2 or 3 good moments in the whole series.
And
Yep.
it's mostly and they're both in Rocky Balboa.
Well, one's in Rocky 4.
I know. I was kidding.
But yeah, not enough to redeem his character at all. I understand why he's included, but I hate his character.
Yeah.
He's the only character I hate. Like Mr. T is meant to be hated, but I love him for that. He knows what he's.
I'll be the guy that will do the one defense for Paulie.
Yeah.
Good or bad, like he's obviously a shitty dude.
That dude
At
knows
the
how
end
to
of the
drink.
day, he was always there for Rock at his highest and his lowest. He was always like right there. So
Well,
like
he caused his lowest.
it's true, it's true,
Yeah.
but not on purpose.
No,
and you got,
I
and,
guess
and,
not on purpose.
and that just speaks volumes for Rocky's character because he was able to look past that. Fuck
Yeah.
up.
Although he's probably just trying to get with Adrian. That's why he stayed friends.
She still hadn't put out yet.
Exactly.
We have a kid together. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. You gotta go stop seeing that therapist.
He looks too much like Apollo.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Rocky, the original Rocky to me is close to a perfect movie minus the Pauly stuff. So that's what I have to say I hate. And then my favorite is probably, I already talked about it, is that blowout he has with Mickey.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
And all the training montages in every movie are just
I love
fucking
that
great.
so far. I love that so far. All three of our favorite scenes have been different.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's about to die. Because I agree, my favorite scene is that, but I already said that.
The fight between him and Mickey.
Yeah, like just that whole like interaction, not even just like them talking, and then it progressing, then Rock like thinking he left, came out, shut the door again.
Yep.
Just fucking had yeah.
But before we move on to Rocky 2, I just want to give a few fun facts about the first movie real quick because
can I say my least favorite part?
Oh yeah, good. Sorry,
Jesus, Adrian.
I just said it so like defeated. It was like, damn. Before, nobody gives a fuck about this prick thing.
Right. He's pretty much the Pauly of our podcast.
That's just not true.
He said that's not cool, man. So that's the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
That really is. Like honestly, I'm like kind of
like Brian.
I don't get insulted a lot, but man, that actually hurt my heart.
You know what hurt Rocky's heart?
So did he Dolph Lundgren you?
That punch to the chest.
That punch to the chest.
Adrian, you Dolph Lundgren him.
Yeah,
the same thing that's about to hurt your heart.
Did you just use my name as a verb? Ted Mosby. You really Mosby that.
You really Mosby that up.
Did you just use my name as a verb?
But my least favorite part, it's actually a Pauly moment, and it's the scene where he pulls out the bat and just starts smashing shit, and like he's gonna hit the two of them, and like the whole just Pauly has got issues, and most of them revolve around the bottle that he's sipping from in every other scene. Stay off the juice, kids. Smoke drugs instead.
Right. Smoke alcohol and snort drugs. Wait.
Have you guys ever seen that video of that guy?
I don't know. I'm
ripping a hit of alcohol through a bong.
Oh God.
Oh, it fucked him. It fucked. Oh, and then the guy that smoked the ghost pepper through a bong.
I've seen
I've seen that one.
That also sounds bad.
He thought he was gonna. He thought he was gonna die.
I actually thought he died because he didn't upload a video for 8 years.
Hey, Jesus. Hey, if Drago saw that guy doing that, what do you think he would say? If he does, he dies.
Oh. I went with the wrong character.
Yeah.
I must break him. He is like iron. He is not human.
I must break YouTube algorithm.
Right before the guy took the hit of the scorpion pepper, he went, "You will lose."
I do it for me.
Quick fun fact: I didn't know for decades after Rocky IV that Dolph Lundgren was actually an incredibly well received director of his own right.
I still didn't know that to this day.
Oh yeah, he's like a movie director and all kinds of shit. Like he's pretty accomplished.
Well, were you aware that the woman that plays Drago's wife is actually Stallone's wife in real life?
She was.
Yeah,
they're not.
She was so committed to the role that she fucked Dolph Lundgren and then left.
and then Dolph Lundgren punched Stallone in the chest.
She realized that's a real man. I need to be with him.
He punched her in the chest, but he started way lower, and she couldn't believe it.
Did you guys know that Dolph Lundgren has a master's degree in chemical engineering and a scholarship to MIT?
See, you just took it further than I knew.
He was also in the Swedish military and an accomplished martial artist.
Yeah,
Well,
Dolph Lundgren's like an OG.
He's a fucking. I never know why he didn't catch on like Arnold and Stallone did at that time.
He's gotten more respect nowadays.
Oh yeah, he does.
Not like they did.
I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie. He was in Universal Soldier, but it was really good.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. He just
Universal
just
Soldier
didn't
was
go
pretty
anywhere.
decent. He just I don't know. I don't think he really pursued the acting career that they did. Like he did a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's done so much.
He's been in a couple of things. Like he was in one of the Expendable movies, wasn't he?
Yeah, those movies suck ass.
I know you hate those.
I love those movies.
They're so garbage.
They are bad.
He played a villain in Arrow. So he was in Arrow for a little bit.
That was great.
That was actually really good.
He was the leader of. He was one of he was in Russia. He was like
he was one of the Russian Brava.
So the original Rocky was made for a budget of $1 million. So today,
what a budget!
That's only $4.3 million to make a full length movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay, that's pretty impressive.
It made $225 million, which today is almost $1 billion
Holy shit.
for a movie in 1976. Stallone actually only got paid $35,000 to star in the movie, but he got
His own movie?
But he got 10% on the back end, so he made $2.5 million on that movie.
That's it?
That's all he made in the first Rocky.
That was decent for back then.
For
Can you
yeah,
imagine the 76, how much the money that is?
but just imagine he was.
I get that.
Just imagine though, he had $100 in his bank. He gave up $330,000 to only make $35,000, but then ended up making $2.5 million.
Okay, you put that in perspective.
Right.
It's definitely a much better story than the guy that gave up 10% of the rights to Avatar.
Oh God, yes. I've heard about that. Yeah. Another fun fact that people don't realize, I realized this on my last watch. So, remember how Rocky in the first movie, he's the first person that ever knocked down Apollo Creed?
Yeah.
So at one point, Rocky goes up and he's like looking at Apollo, and the ref stops counting to put Rocky back in his corner. Like, had Rocky just stood in his corner, Apollo would have been counted out right there.
That's normal too. Like that's something that happens a lot in boxing because
it's like the nerves. It's like the nerves got to him, and he cost himself the win. He could have had wasn't that like the first or second round? He knocked Apollo down.
It was first hit. The first hit he landed knocked him down.
He could have had a first round KO.
It was a left-handed uppercut.
And then, if you guys don't know, so this was actually where Stallone got the idea for this movie, based on a true story. Corey, you might know this being a big Muhammad Ali person.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali gave a no-name boxer, his name was Chuck Wepner, he gave him a chance to fight the champ. And because he was such an underdog, Ali didn't even train for the fight, didn't take it seriously. The guy took him 9 rounds and even knocked him down once. So he severely underestimated a no-namer and almost got beat because of it. Rocky had that idea, but, a little more dramatic, 15 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it's kind of funny that Apollo Creed's supposed to be the Ali character, like that's what he's based on. With the showmanship and the flash.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Just like Duke was supposed to be based off of Don King.
Yeah, exactly.
The bad Duke, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other Duke he never gets talked about in the series. I love Duke.
Not really.
I just mentioned him earlier. That's why.
Yeah, right.
My name literally in there is the good Duke.
The good Duke. I didn't even pay attention.
Even though I feel like Duke would have hated Rocky after not throwing in the towel during that fight, I feel like he would have had a problem with him.
Okay, let's be honest. Apollo was going to die even if Rocky had thrown in that towel. Fucking Ivo was not going to stop. Like, you even saw at the end of the first round. He just kept going. He was not going to stop. So, even if he had thrown in the towel...
But people who have a best friend and you didn't throw that towel in, they hate you regardless.
Apollo told him not to. He was
matter,
respecting his friend's wishes. I get it. I know what you're saying.
I'm not saying it's rational. I'm saying your best friend died. You knew there was a chance you could throw in the towel and it stopped, and you didn't even do that. You're going to not like that person very much after that. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying he didn't respect his wishes. I'm saying you're looking for somebody to blame after your friend dies. Rocky's the one you're going to blame.
I think Duke kind of saw him as like a son almost.
Yeah.
But Doug, if Rocky had thrown in the towel to stop Ivan. I keep saying Ivan, my bad. If he had thrown in the towel to stop Ivan Drago,
Dolph Lundgren didn't take off. Nobody can even say his character's name.
Right.
Well, he's just mixing the first and last name.
I know. I'm just messing around. I'm kidding.
Ivo Dragon.
Ivo Dragon. It's like a Porygon.
If he had thrown in the towel, Ivan Drago wasn't going to stop anyway, because even at the end of that first round, you saw him still fucking going at it even after the bell. Like, I think Apollo would have died regardless.
Actually, I think that's a good point, Mike. I've never really thought that out much. I just if I was Rocky in that situation, or my best friend asked me not to throw in the towel, I probably wouldn't throw it in either. I'd probably hate myself for the rest of my existence.
Yeah,
but
he
I wouldn't
blames
do
himself.
it. That's what they wanted, But I think you're right, Mike.
Yeah, I love that detail where Creed realized he fucked up when they're getting ready to fight. After he does all his showmanship and fucking James Brown, when he
tries to hit the fucking...
he hits the gloves and fucking Drago's gloves don't move at all, and you hear poof. For a second, Apollo looks at him like, "Oh fuck, I made a mistake." And then at the end of the first round, when Creed's all fucked up, Drago just kind of looks at Rocky and he goes, Like, yeah, he gives him the nope. You
Do you
fucked
think
up.
he would have like went that hard if Creed hadn't showboated so hard before?
That's
the
the
fight?
thing, like, because they did the press conference and Creed was clowning on him the whole
Yeah.
time, and then they fucking let James Brown play "Living in America" tune and tired. He literally played the whole song.
I think I'd literally argue that if he had chilled the fuck out and treated
Yeah.
him with a little bit of respect instead of just doing his typical showboating,
He just hammed it up too much.
Even the one promoter even says, he's like, you guys are insulting us. Like, and it's just true. They really hadn't insulted
Right.
Apollo or Rocky until they were insulted.
It was just kind of the
And-
tensions are high, political
Yeah.
tensions because the Cold War.
And I agree. I think because as Ivan is coming up in the ring as it's being lifted, like you can tell, like he's
Yeah.
uncomfortable with everything going on.
he's like, "What the fuck is this? Yeah, what is
yeah,
this?"
he's looking at all the lights and streamers, and he looks kind of angry about it.
Yeah, he's like, "What the?" He's like, "This is fucking stupid." So they return the favor
They're
in
making
Russia-
mockery of boxing.
when they started, with the whole big ass flag with Ivan Drago on it, and them doing
Yeah.
the Russian national anthem,
Yeah.
and like you know that was like a retaliation for what Apollo Creed did.
Oh,
to him.
100%. Like, you're in our house now, bitch.
Were you guys aware that Stallone recently released a director's cut of this movie, Rocky versus
What?
Drago?
I did not know that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
It
What?
puts a little more heart. Like it takes out some of the robot silly bullshit. Stallone hates that robot now, and it
As he
focuses
should.
it focuses on more serious moments, more character development with Drago. He has more lines because in the theatrical release, Drago has 9 fucking lines.
God, I
Yeah.
wish we could talk about the Creed movies right now so bad. Anyway,
we'll get to them.
Next
I
time,
know. It
I
just
feel like
ties so perfectly.
I feel like I
Anyway.
blew your guys' mind with the director's cut, but watch
Yeah,
that if
you
you ever
really
get a
did.
chance.
I have to watch that.
Yep. It's about the same length, so they take out as much as they add, but there's a lot different in it.
I can't even
Yeah.
imagine what they could add.
Yeah.
Like, I guess less 80s, more serious.
another song.
Another montage.
Dude,
They
like,
took out
when
all
you
those
are-
non
When you got
montage.
heart on fire, like, what else do you need?
Hell yeah. They took out all
Corey's got
those
some fun facts about
non-montage
the
moments.
songs.
Okay.
Corey, you do?
Maybe this is a hot topic.
Yeah.
But I think Hearts
Hot
on Fire
topic.
is so much better than Eye of the Tiger.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. I agree.
No.
Thank you, Mike.
I like
I
the
agree.
original theme more than Eye of the Tiger.
You know, Mike, if it's one thing I've learned on this podcast, I can always rely on you to agree with me when I'm
Have-
right.
You can always agree. You can always count on Mike to have bad opinions with you. Eye of the fucking Tiger is Eye of the Tiger is not Rocky. It's actually what Corey was saying. The original theme is Rocky, but Eye of the Tiger.
that blows people's minds. By the way.
I'm gonna let Corey finish this, but Eye of the Tiger wasn't even meant for Rocky.
All right.
Wait, yes, it was.
No, it was not.
What?
First of all, Mike said that wrong.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger was meant for Rocky. Rocky
There was-
wasn't meant to have Eye of the Tiger in it at first.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Sylvester Stallone tried like hell to get Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, and they would not sell. They would not let them have it in the
There was
movie.
something else too.
That would
They-
have never fit.
It was
That
what
would have
Sylvester
never
Stallone
fit.
wanted.
Yeah, they wanted. He wanted that one for the beginning montage of like Stallone. Is 4 like where it shows him knocking everybody out, or is that no? That's 3 is the montage
3.
of him. Okay, never
Because
mind.
that's before Clubber Lang.
Because he's
like-
fighting all the bums.
Yeah, the bums.
which 3 is where this song kicked. Eye of the Tiger 3 is the first one it's in.
The original song.
Wait,
it has-
really?
Yeah, 3 is the first movie this song's in.
Wow.
That blows everybody's mind that it wasn't even
It's
the
so
theme until 3.
synonymous with. I've
I
seen
know.
these movies a billion times.
And it's only synonymous with Rocky because nobody knows what the original theme's called.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
exactly.
dun, dun.
You have to do that noise.
The original song for this movie was supposed to be the one that went to the Karate Kid years later.
Yes, yeah, but actually, which is ironic because Rocky 4 instead of Hearts on Fire, the song that they were going to use also went to the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Good, because Hearts on Fire, the Hearts on Fire training montage in Rocky 4 is the penultimate film of Rocky.
It's amazing. Yes,
Not as good as Eye of the Tiger, but
It's definitely way better.
But to finish the music fact, Sylvester Stallone ended up going to Survivor and requested they record a theme for the movie. And the movie was released one day before the single dropped. They allowed the movie to release one day before they dropped their
Wow.
Well, to further elaborate on that point, so Rocky first called Survivor because he said he likes their music after he figured out he couldn't use Queen.
single. Okay, first of all, Sylvester Stallone called Survivor, not
What I said, Rocky?
He said
Hey,
Rocky.
hey! I thought we already established it's the
They're
same
the
guy.
same guy.
I mean, I
So,
guess they
so anyway, Arnold Schwarzenegger called up Survivor.
there you go.
No, but
So Dolph Lundgren called the Karate Kid to fight Mr. Miyagi?
yeah, no. So Sylvester Stallone called Survivor after he figured out he couldn't use Queen's music because they wouldn't give it to him. He said he likes their music, so he wants them to write him a song. And at first, they didn't think it was Stallone. They thought someone was pranking them, so they didn't take the call seriously.
They like hung up halfway through the call.
Their agent, like a week later, is like, "Hey, did you know fucking Sylvester Stallone wants you to write a song for Rocky?" They're like, "Wait, that's serious?" So they spent weeks fucking making this song for Rocky, and he requested they do at least 2 for him. So they made "Eye of the Tiger" in like one day, and he
Wow.
ended up loving "Eye of the Tiger" over the original song they made.
A lot of people think they just slacked and forgot about it till the day before it was due, but it actually was that they thought people were fucking with them. They thought
Yeah.
somebody was doing a voice, and it wasn't real.
No, so
Oh, shit.
they did take weeks to make the other song, like after they
that's
figured
right.
out
Yeah,
it was
sorry, my
Stallone.
bad.
Yeah, but literally they were like, "Fuck, he wants 2 songs, and we have this one that we know he'll love." So like in one night they made fucking "Eye of the Tiger," and he's like, "That's the song right
And he
there."
picked that one.
They're like, "Are you fucking serious?" We spent
That's
weeks
funny.
on the other song. So that goes to show you, kids. Wait till the last minute to do your homework. Great things will happen.
Yeah, like you'll be 32 working at Arby's and doing a podcast making no dollars.
See, dreams do come
As far as Rocky 4 goes, the song by Peter Cetera, "Glory of Love," was originally meant for Rocky 4, but Stallone said no because it was supposed to play at the end credits, and he decided that due to the theme of the movie and how it ends, he didn't think "Glory of Love" would be fitting for the end credits.
He had a fucking like almost a seizure in a fucking shower.
So, well, that's the beginning of 5.
It's the end of 4.
No, it's
5
beginning of
picks
5.
up literally where 4 leaves off.
That's the beginning
Well,
of 5.
It's
all
the
the-
same
all
exact day.
all these movies end in the ring with a freeze frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. The end of
But-
4 is him with the fucking American flag draped
Yep.
around him.
And then, Doug's right. It picks up right where it left off. And
Yeah, and then 5 and then in the shower later that night, he has a seizure.
Duke's like, "You okay, Rock?" He's like, "Go get Adrian."
Right. So, Mike, basically what you're saying is it picks up where the last one left off.
That is the case for all of these movies.
That's the one time where I'll always be right until you get to Balboa.
Till Balboa.
All right, so Corey, favorite and least favorite part of part 2.
Yeah, my favorite part is what we already kind of touched upon, which was him spending all the money and saying all the really dumb things.
Oh, I love that.
I just love that whole first 20 minutes of the movie where he's just being a complete jackass with his money. And my least favorite part of the movie, and this is going to be, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this. Actually, you know what? My favorite part of the this is going to be really weird, but
Just get it out, man.
my
Come
least
on.
favorite part of the movie and maybe my favorite part of the movie are all in the same scene.
Okay.
I think the hospital stuff with her in a coma is too long. I think it
Yeah.
took too much of the movie. It could have been a little bit shorter. It was like 30 minutes. It took a little too long.
What that scene kind of did, I'd probably agree with you, is it just kind of like brought the pace to a crawl.
It did.
Like it kind of killed the momentum of the movie.
And it made it feel like him montaging for that fight wouldn't have made it that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he had enough time after
Yeah,
sitting in that hospital that long.
Rocky 2 and Rocky 4 for me are kind of tied where I'm like, he would not win those fights. Because in Rocky 2, he did not have enough time to prepare.
No, I don't think
and
he did.
Apollo was taking it dead serious in Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he got that lucky shot in Southpaw in the 15th round. But in that fight, like, Apollo was fucking jacked. He was training 24/7. And I don't think he would have won 4 because Dolph Lundgren's just a fucking animal. Like,
Like in 2, like Rocky, like Apollo was definitely coming to he was the guy that had to prove something that
oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
like he had to show he wasn't just fucking sandbagging. He wasn't.
And
like,
also, we know from that movie,
overt.
Carl Weathers, or rather, Apollo, the character of Apollo Creed, would not do good in the age of YouTube toxic comments because he's reading all that hate mail. She's
No,
like, "Can't
yeah.
you let
Oh,
it
yeah.
go?" She's like, "Can't you just let it go?" He like throws them everywhere. So, dude, you would not like being in social media.
Do not check
No.
your Twitter, Apollo Creed.
No, Hentai Lover 69 made fun of me on the internet.
And Ty Lover.
This fucking guy, Octopus Pussy.
Octopussy, pussy.
On the tail end of that very long hospital scene, though, that kind of drags it out, one of my favorite parts of the movie is when he says, "What do you want me to do, Adrian?" And she just says, "Win."
When? Oh, yeah.
When she says "win," I still get chills.
Hell yeah. When she said, "There's one thing I want you to do, win." And like when it shows his face and it's like, dong. It's like the music hits. It's like, oh, that's definitely emotional.
But the one thing that bothers me about too, this is just real quick, when he's doing his training montage, there's a part where about 1,000 kids are chasing him through the streets of Philadelphia, and are none of the parents wondering where the fuck their kids are?
It was the
Dude, that's the
70s.
70s.
Again, Corey.
But that's
this is a different
lot
time.
of kids.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has a
70s.
lot of people.
Every street is like, wait, there's usually kids playing stickball outside. Where the fuck is everybody?
You know what I
They're
like?
playing stickball on the other street.
You know what? That's like a really like emotionally moving scene. But I laugh every time I see it because I just think like Rocky running fast. He's like, no one's fucking faster than me. I'll show these kids.
It's just a bunch of little kids.
Like in a different context, like maybe he thought they were zombies. I don't know. So he had to run really fast. But
Those little bastards keep chasing me.
I'll just get mine out of the way real fast because I don't have a lot to. Like, I think this movie is perfectly fine and a good sequel to 1, but I think for me personally, it's the most forgettable in the franchise. Like it's a great movie.
I'll kill you.
Apollo shows up to kick ass, but it's just a lot of the same from the first movie.
It is kind of just a.
That's why it's
rehash of the
great.
first one.
I mean, no, like I said, it's perfectly fine. Like, I didn't say it's bad.
Tonally, it feels the most like the first Rocky.
Like it's kind of like what Corey was saying, like that whole like all that coma stuff is like there's just a lot of just flat moments in this movie for me. So it just didn't like stand out like the other one.
I can
like
see that.
Even 5 is bad.
Don't
like,
you do it?
Even 5 as bad as it is has more for me has more memorable moments that I like look back and I'm like, oh yeah, this and that happened. And 2, it's just kind of like a what was different between that and 1.
Oh my god, this area, it's about to happen again. Adrian's leaving. It's about to happen again. I have to agree with Doug. I think that 5 does have more memorable moments. They may not be.
Wait,
not
let
be
him
the
put his
greatest.
headphones back on.
They
right.
may not be the greatest memorable moments, but I
See, that's what I'm saying.
More
Like,
from
it
5
might not be
than 2.
like it's. I'm not saying like I personally I don't dislike 5 like you guys do. I'll be straight up with that, but like. There's a lot more going on, like a lot more story going on. It's not like it's like I said, 2 just has a lot of flat moments. And I'm saying they're bad moments, but they're not like exciting or something I'm gonna remember fondly for years to come. You know what I mean?
You're not the only one that feels that way. A lot like
Yes, because
did the reviews and stuff. There are a lot of people that feel that Rocky 2 is kind of too drawn out, and it's not like the best in the series.
Like 1 was doing a ton of world building. 2 didn't have to do all that.
I do get what you say. There's not enough like big moments in 2. It's like they just get married. He tries to get a normal job. Apollo Creed wants his revenge.
The fight's really good.
She goes
The
to
fight's
coma.
really good.
They have a kid.
My least favorite moment is easily another Pauly scene in 2.
Your favorite moment?
When he fucking smacks that shit out of Adrian's hand and basically forces her into a coma.
God, I hate him so much.
She was already having complications because she's working and picking up all that heavy shit, and then he fucking puts that stress on her, and that sends her over the top. So fuck Pauly.
Why did I defend this guy a little bit again?
So that's definitely my least favorite moment.
And then he tries to act all like concerned when she starts to fall over.
Unlike the Adrian
Oh my
on
God,
our
are you
show,
okay?
this Adrian in this movie is a saint, and I love her.
Oh my god, yeah. I love Adrian.
But my favorite moment
That's
is probably
confusing.
the same as Corey's. I think when she finally wakes up and she's like, "Win, Rock," and
Win.
like that moment is just so powerful.
Win, walk,
Because like the entire or like up until that point of the movie, she was like super against him fighting, and then that like she comes out of the coma and it's like she had an epiphany, and it's like, yeah.
And guess what
you know, fuck
happened?
it.
She dies of cancer later on. So look at her now. And Rod goes the distance again.
Yeah, he does. Without dead bitch.
On fire.
It just goes to show you that Dr. Dre was right when he said bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
That's it.
So Adrian, your least and favorite.
So Rocky 2 does have like a couple moments that always choke me up, I should say, and not even like the win. That's one of them. But like one is when he's down punching the bag in their basement, and like she's coming down. He tells her he got let go, and she's like, "Well, I could work again." Just the way his voice cracks when he's like, "Yeah, but I'm the one that's supposed to support." Like you can tell he's like emasculated and he's hurt. Ah, fuck, that moment gets me every time. Like just the voice crack. Stallone. I mean, he's a fine actor. And what happened? I think the worst thing that happened for Stallone's career is he became such a big action star because like people just wanted to see action. They didn't want great acting from him, and he kind of like got lazy with his acting early in his career. He was a good fucking actor.
I think that was more due to Rambo than Rocky.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say, I think like he always was at his in
Rocky
any
was great acting. Yeah,
anytime he was on screen as Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone was at his best.
Hell yeah!
Like he never phoned it in for that role. Yeah. But it was other movies that really like kind of tarnished his name as like this great actor.
Just dumbass '80s version of Fast and Furious. Yeah. But the other moment
he was over the top,
The other moment
he was the Demolition Man.
He was Demolition. I think his action career. I think his action career was his Demolition Man. But
no, dude, that take is over the top.
It did 187 his acting career. Murder, death, kill.
That's right. Piece of shit, motherfucker, asshole.
My favorite part of that movie, by the way.
Absolutely. Mike, have you ever seen Demolition Man?
Have you ever seen Over the Top?
We've already talked about that.
You haven't seen Over the Top.
Mike, I think you'd like Demolition Man.
Absolutely.
I probably would.
No, but the other moment that gets me real emotional
is that the Seashells movie?
Yes.
How to use the 3 shells?
He doesn't
know how to use the shells.
Sandra Bullock, Rob Schneider, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes.
That's actually
Dennis
a great
Leary.
Fucking movie, dude. Great fucking movie.
I love Dennis Leary, so I'm in.
That's the only name you took from
I know,
that?
all those people he said I love.
Are you kidding me?
Sandra Bullock,
asshole.
never heard of her.
Sandra Bullock's is more like it.
I understand you not acknowledging Rob Schneider, but all those other names.
Making copies. I was born in 1989.
What are you talking about? Rob Schneider's bellhop number 2 in Home Alone 2.
I was going to say Rob Schneider's a better actor than Dennis Leary, but Rescue Me was a great show. So
yeah,
that's actually
plus Dennis Leary was that awful boss in Small Soldiers.
Oh yeah, he was.
Dennis Leary's awesome.
God damn it, we talk about Small Soldiers a lot on this.
We just need to do a Small Soldiers episode.
Hell yeah, we do.
I guess. I don't love it as much as you guys.
Hey, Culture Shock fans, tell us what you want, what you really, really want. And if that's a Small Soldiers episode,
we're not doing a Spice World movie episode.
Well, but that song is in Small Soldiers.
We'll do a Spice. Hey, to our listeners, Tim, don't worry. We'll do a Spice Girls Spotlight episode 783.
Wow, that's too soon. I was thinking 3,292.
Yeah. Let's cut the difference. We'll say like 1,700, 1,800.
Okay. You guys think it's cute that you guys think me and Corey won't branch off and do our own thing before then.
But the other moment that got me real emotional in Rocky 2 is when they're upstairs and she doesn't want him to fight, and he says, Adrian, I never asked you to stop being a woman. I'm just asking you to not, don't tell me to stop being a man.
Yeah.
If I can, Rocky has some fucking heart. I love that dude.
I mean, that's established well over these movies is that he's
like in Rocky 1, like he's straight up about who he is and what he does. Like the first date they go on, he tells her all about the fight and why he does
actually,
it.
He repeats himself like 3 times in that in that ice rink.
Yeah. And after the ice rink, and before the ice rink, he later on at the pet shop.
He's literally our Adrian when he's drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to say that Sam Raimi is.
Listen, Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in that movie.
Quick aside about Sam Raimi. Did you guys see the trailer for that new fucking
Evil Dead
Stephen
Rise
King movie? That new Stephen King movie being produced by Sam Raimi?
No.
I'm the only one that saw that trailer at the theater for Quantumania.
Oh yeah. Boogeyman. Yeah, it looks really good.
Oh yeah, it does. I thought it was gonna be a live action Monsters Inc. at first. They threw me off so hard.
Unfortunately, I didn't make the trailers. Unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. There were a lot of them.
Yeah, and they were good.
There was like 15 minutes worth of trailers.
They were probably better than that.
It was probably more than that even. Oh, fuck you.
Well, shut up. We'll talk about that.
He said, well, shut up.
Rocky 3. Corey, best and favorite and least favorite parts.
I love the whole Thunder Lips fight. That part of the movie just, and we got to see Hulk Hogan leg drop. We got to see all
Mike.
the old school wrestling moves.
Mike, you might be a little more knowledgeable. Did Sly Stallone here usher us into the age of Hulkamania, or was he already a huge deal before?
Well, this was the early 80s.
Early 80s.
Hulk
I'm
was
gonna
already taken off
82.
at that point.
I was going to say, this is when he was starting to take off. So
This is
Okay.
right before. This was right before he slammed Andre.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so
He was already
Yeah.
being set up to be like the next.
So Hogan
the next,
was in this
like,
movie at the
torch
perfect
carrier.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it was really weird seeing him be a villain in the early 80s because like he's not at all.
Right,
And
Hulk
he,
would
like,
never do a heel
refused-
turn.
He refused to be a heel until he went to
Until-
WCW.
Banner.
See, that's the thing is that scene. It was 5 minutes of him being fucking crazy, and
Yeah,
then
it was
realizing he was just
amazing.
putting on an act.
Yeah.
He's actually a
Yeah.
nice guy.
And then he's
fucking-
like, "Hey
he
man,
takes
good
picture with him.
job."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
know.
"Hey man, good job."
I know.
Oh
he's-
man, I
he's-
thought you were trying to turn me
Then when Rocky's like, these charity events, they're kind of crazy. He's like, yeah. He's like, they're usually crazier.
yeah, he said, well, I learned that charity hurts sometimes. fucking Paulie breaks the chair over Hogan.
Do you guys? Okay, real quick. Do you guys feel like Sylvester Stallone was just like a really regular guy that accidentally stumbled into a successful acting career?
I mean, kind of 100%. I do.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but here I am.
He was just a normal guy that happened to write a really good script that people wanted, and he's like, no, I want to act in it. And
Yeah,
that
wrote
was the end of it.
He wrote the original draft in 3 days.
What?
There was a lot of changes made, but he wrote the original.
Okay.
Mickey
So
was
it's like the original Ghostbusters being about. Like,
yeah. So Mickey was supposed to be extremely racist, and Rocky was supposed to be an anti-hero who threw the fight at the end.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, that would have been awful.
That wouldn't have been nearly as inspiring, no.
Rocky, you gotta watch out for them blacks. That's Mickey.
When I was younger, they put nails in their gloves and poked my face full of holes. The blacks.
The opinions of Mickey do not necessarily reflect the thoughts of the Culture Shock Podcast.
Thank you, Adrian.
Except maybe Adrian.
Except when they do.
Wait,
Wait, no. This is hypothetical, Mickey. Hypothetical, Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely do not encourage or condone the actions of Mickey the Mouse and Disney.
This is like a Marvel what if Rocky.
From what I gathered about Sylvester Stallone writing these movies is that he kind of based both 1 and 2 off of his real life. So
Yeah.
I think he changed them around a lot to fit like what was actually going on in his life. Because 2, he wrote 2 because he had 2 more movies after the first Rocky, and both of them were terrible.
Right.
And so he wrote Rocky 2 in hopes to revitalize his career.
Well, it worked.
It did, yeah.
I love Rocky 3 and 4, but the first 2 definitely felt like more grounded and down to earth, like small scale. I mean, it makes sense. 3 is like when he became famous and like both in the real world and as Rocky Balboa. So it makes sense that it felt like more grand. He was rich. He was
I really feel like there's a really strong parallel between like Sylvester
The
Stallone, the actor, and
stages
Rocky
of his
Balboa, the
life.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in the third movie, those scenes that they show of him on the Muppets and stuff, that was actually scenes from when Sylvester Stallone was on the Muppets, not Rocky.
yeah.
So
What's that frog's name? Kermit.
yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Oh,
I
God.
forgot about that actually. Holy shit.
My favorite moment of Rocky 3 is just I love how the dynamic works between him and Apollo. Like I don't know, someone earlier said it's kind of weird, but I don't know. It just feels like a bromance. Feels like rivals that were
The
able
relationship between them isn't weird. The jumping in the ocean with half shirts on is weird.
to. Well, I
Yeah,
just
that's
attribute
just
that.
weird.
Hey,
That's the
if
Top
you're
Gun
not
era.
comfortable with your own sexuality. That's up to you. Corey.
I am, but it's like they're giggling like little schoolgirls. on each
Here's
other.
what I'm thinking. My only problem with that scene is it didn't go far enough.
Right.
Remember, Paulie told Rocky, not Paulie, Mick said, if you want to make it as a champ, you got to suck a few dicks.
He should have just laid Apollo down on that beach and made love to him tenderly.
Then Ludacris played in the background. It's like, you're coming for that BBC rock.
That's what would happen if Seth MacFarlane had wrote that scene.
Exactly.
And I would be there for it.
And then the camera would pan out, and for some reason, Craig T. Nelson would be watching.
Ooh, yeah.
What's your least favorite
Bow,
scene,
bow.
Adrian?
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Maybe do yours if you already have them in mind. I don't know a least favorite scene in Rocky 3.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I don't know if I really have like a least favorite scene of Rocky 3.
I fucking love Rocky 3.
It's
so good.
It is.
I think my favorite is again not funny. Like I love the Thunder Lips stuff and everything, but
That's
we
great.
already
Yeah.
talked about it. I think where Adrian's character arc comes to like a perfect crescendo is when she fucking just stands up to Rocky and is like, "What is the matter with you? Like, what is wrong?"
Yeah.
Why
Like,
you being a
if it
bitch
were
ass?
not for that moment, he would not have beat Clubber Lang.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because Apollo can see something's wrong with him. Like he says in the movie, he doesn't have that eye of the tiger anymore. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have that hunger.
Yeah, he says
And
"I
then-
had the
and then-
tiger" about 15 times during the movie.
He really does. It's like we get it. And then Adrian,
We know it's the theme of the movie.
I do love that scene. Adrian's like, "What the fuck is going on with you?" Like, I'm scared. Okay.
I didn't know you were such a little. Never mind.
Yeah, and she said, yeah, I love that moment. She says, "You can't do it for the wrong reasons. You can't do it because
Yeah.
the guilt over Mick dying, or even for me, or the money. You have to do it for you."
I can tell you what all of our least favorite parts should be.
Okay, what do you got?
What?
Is Mick
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
No, Sylvester Stallone sings to Adrian in this movie. He shouldn't sing.
Oh, I love
You're a
that.
hater.
I love that
Listen.
I love that moment though, because she's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I don't know the rest of the composition."
Dude,
he only knows a few
one of
words.
the things I love about their relationship is how much of Rocky is such a romantic.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is.
So like and we've
But in such a
established this
child
since-
way.
Yeah, but
He doesn't know
we've
how to do it
established
other
this-
than middle school love.
But it works though for them.
It does. I'm
And
just saying it's funny.
we established this in our rom-com episode, which Doug wasn't here for. It's not that I hate love. I hate love when it's done wrong, and these movies did it perfectly correctly.
Oh
So it's just a phenomenal story between the two.
yeah. Okay. No, Corey, you're right though. That would be my. I agree with you. Your least favorite part is her in the coma. It's just a little bit too long.
That's
It
two.
is.
Although you gotta love
That's
Mick.
two.
He stays.
You're in the
stays
wrong
two.
movie. You're in the wrong
Fuck.
movie.
Wait. What
That
were
is
we
two.
talking about?
Three.
I said him singing was the bad part.
Oh, yeah. No.
You just went back like 40
Adrian, are
minutes.
you drinking?
Water. Fuck Rocky 3. I don't know. Here again. I'll go with this answer. I hate that Paulie came with them to LA because he's bitching the
Yeah.
entire time.
I just hate that Paulie
he's,
came.
He's such a letdown.
I don't think
I don't-
Paulie's ever come
Well,
except in that robot.
I mean,
did you see that prostitute he was with in the first one?
yeah, oh, yeah.
No.
And his robot girlfriend in part 4. Paulie, put it in my asshole.
Bro,
he was
fuck
definitely
that
fucking that robot, right?
Yeah, you definitely
for
was.
sure, for sure.
I mean, you wouldn't?
And that'll transition us right to
did.
Rocky 4.
well,
I
no,
did
Court-
fuck that robot.
Doug hasn't done his favorite or least favorite scene.
Oh, I keep skipping Doug's least favorite.
Mike, I'm glad that. Thank you for acknowledging me.
I'm trying this time.
All right, Doug, what is your favorite and least favorite moments of Rocky 3?
Probably the when Mr. D says, "I pity the fool."
That's your favorite moment? I don't hate.
my
Come on,
whole
Creed.
answer.
Come on, Creed.
No,
Come on,
no.
Creed.
I love Clubber Lang's trash talk.
I
throughout the whole
love
movie.
Clubber Lang.
Like
Yeah,
Mr.
for
T
sure.
was like the god of trash talk in the
Hell
like,
yeah.
at that era.
Clubber
it was like
Lang.
unparalleled, man.
And now he does cell phone commercials.
And World of Warcraft commercial.
For me, it's hard between
Yeah.
Apollo Creed and Clubber Lang is my favorite. Like, and again, Apollo's not like an antagonist, but out of Rocky's the people he boxes between Apollo and Clubber for very different reasons.
Clubber Lang is definitely the most villainous guy he knew
Oh yeah, for
against.
sure.
Like we've already talked about Ivan Drago, how he has like there's some like reasons for him to be like they clowned on him a lot for like the first 2/3 of the movie, and
Yeah,
then he just sat there in silence. and took it off.
Well, yeah, he let his fucking fist do the talking. He said, "Fuck you guys, I'll kill
And
your
those
best
aren't
friend, and
fists
then
I
I'll
want
kill
to
you."
talk with ever.
So, Doug, is your favorite thing about 3 just Clubber Lang in general?
Honestly, I love Clubber Lang. I love what he represents. I love that he like represents what Rocky was before he had the title.
But just
I love
more
just
vicious.
like the whole like, yeah, he was like,
He's a killer. Mick is fucking scared of that guy.
oh,
Yeah.
Mick made 3. Mick made 3.
Yeah.
Like without the scene
no,
with
Mick did
there
not
were-
make it through 3.
Precisely. Like I think killing Mick at that point was great for the story.
Oh, yeah,
I
it
was
made
sad
sense.
personally because he's like my favorite character.
It was an amazing moment, and it was important, but it's still to me my least favorite just because of how fucking heartbreaking it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like it. Though.
And I like how Rocky kind of let him die happy because he said it was a knockout in the second round, but he didn't say who won.
Yeah, like
He said, "How'd you do, kid?" It was a knockout in the
they
second
handled
round.
that so. I love how they handled that.
Right.
Like, it was really beautiful.
You see that tear rolling down Mick's cheek. Oh my god,
I think it was just handled so beautifully.
it was.
Yeah.
And I really like scenes like that a lot. So like that really got me, and it always gets me every time I watch it. Like that's one of the reasons 3 is one of my favorite movies in this franchise.
Hell yeah.
It's like right behind 4, honestly.
Hell no. Doug, what's your least favorite thing on Rocky 3? Do you have a least favorite?
Not really. Like 3 is just like a fucking great movie.
It's so solid all around.
Doug, I know what your least favorite about 3 is.
What?
Hearts on Fire is not in it.
I mean, that's
He said, "I'm in."
that's just unfortunate for Rocky 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and Creed 1 and 2. Yeah.
Now we don't want to speak for Creed 3. It could be in there.
Guys,
If they know what's good for
we're
them.
not doing a music episode.
What is? Yeah, guys,
Stop it.
we're not doing a musical episode. What is this, Joker 2?
I can't wait
Oh,
for that
God.
movie.
I'm excited. I
Wow,
love
me and
musicals.
Corey
I'm
just
in
have
Mike-
different opinions.
Mike, you haven't even seen Joker.
I don't care. I love musicals.
Watch fucking Joker. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Dude, Joker's like an actual masterpiece.
Joker 2 is actually going to depend on you seeing Joker, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. I think it's just gonna be such a good
I
fucking
mean,
movie.
I'm
They had to
indifferent. I'm indifferent. I want to love it, but I'm indifferent.
Now, speaking of
Well,
Rocky,
Rocky
4,
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of
Adrian,
Rocky
that was
IV.
your fault.
it really
What
was.
is all right? What is your all's favorite scene in Rocky 4?
Let's start with Corey.
My favorite scene, and it's honestly just a real quick one. I love when
apologize?
Drago picks his trainer dude up by the throat
Oh, yeah.
with the glove on, just picks him straight up by the throat and drops him.
With one arm, man.
I fucking love that. Every time I see it, I go, "Ooh yeah, he's gonna fuck that guy up." And my least favorite is that 50% of 4 is montages.
Yeah.
Like
It's
half
so
of
good.
It, half of it is montage.
It's
Dude.
too much.
Dude,
way
it's
too
so
much.
hype.
The soundtrack to that movie, though, they had to do all
Definitely best
montages.
soundtrack in the series.
Yeah, you could make a case for that,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah, I might give you that, but
32% montage.
It was so mid 80s. It was so beautiful.
Listen,
I love
if you take off the part 3 recap, at the they do the recaps. If you
Yeah.
take that off and the montages, this movie's only an hour and 6 minutes.
That's still an hour, 6 minutes
Wait.
of solid movie.
Didn't Clubber Lang already hurt Rocky a bit in the head? That's why he like was shouldn't have fucked.
Well, he had like the PTSD.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he
It's-
actually hurt him in a way that like long-term
Okay.
damage.
Anyway, man. So 4 isn't everybody here's favorite.
No,
It's
No.
my
So
favorite.
Adrian's favorite is 3.
no,
Rocky Balboa
no.
1.
Yes.
No, yes.
Rocky 5.
That's
The
I've
best
been
one.
lying to you all.
well, we may as well get it out of the way then. Mine is 3.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Is it?
Doug,
Yeah.
why do we keep agreeing? I don't like this.
Mike, some things are just meant to be. It's okay, man. Just come to the dark side.
Here,
No, four is definitely my favorite.
It's so good.
as we go through our favorite and least favorite moments of these last 2 movies, let's sprinkle in our orders real quick.
Last 3 movies. Rocky Balboa. Oh, you're skipping 5. That's right.
Yeah. So my order is best to worst, in my opinion. The original Rocky. Rocky 3 is my second favorite movie. Rocky 2.
Wow.
Yep, Rocky 2 is my third. You ready for this? Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky 4. Rocky 5.
God damn. That's a
Rocky-
hot take, Adrian.
I love Rocky 4, but it's my second least favorite out of these.
I love it, but it's the
No,
worst.
they're all great. Except one.
I was kidding.
No, except Rocky 1. Oh, sorry,
Let me
go,
piss Adrian off.
what do you got?
Please.
My order is Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky Balboa,
Wait, hold on. You're missing one.
Rocky,
Okay.
Rocky 2, Rocky 5.
Damn.
Oh,
that
the
was
the
that was
original Rocky at
drastically
4.
different. That's crazy.
Mine's
Yeah.
probably mine goes Rocky 4, Rocky 1,
Okay.
3,
Uh-huh.
Balboa 2, and then 5.
I'm fine with that list.
It's pretty close to Adrian's.
3 should have been higher than 4, but
No.
oh wait, that's right. We all have our own opinions.
Your opinion sucks, Adrian.
Doug, do you have an order?
So it's really close for the first one, but I have like
Between
this soft spot from my childhood is 4 for 4. So it's my favorite Rocky.
I used to.
but it's
4
mostly,
actually
It's
used to
mostly
be my
for
favorite.
nostalgia. It's mostly for nostalgia. I'll
Yeah,
admit that.
4
Yeah.
might be the best. 4 might be the most rewatchable, like background noise of the series.
After that, though, 1 and Balboa to me are almost on the same level, mostly
Okay.
for the speech in Balboa, but 1 is
Oh
my
my God,
second
yes.
favorite.
Yes.
So then Balboa after, then 3, then 5, then 2.
Okay, you like 5 more than 2.
Like I said, like I know you guys all dislike 2, but I actually like 5 a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think it was really cool and it was different.
I don't even hate 5, honestly.
I feel like 5 gets trashed on a lot because it wasn't exactly like the other 4, and I
It
think
was-
that's
no,
like
it
the
was, yeah.
biggest reason it gets shit on.
It was a huge deviation.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
exactly.
But it
and I
kind
like
of
that.
had to be. He actually, for once, listened to his wife and didn't fight.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fighting. But
Got forced
And it
into
actually it actually naturally progressed into who he becomes in the Creed movies. Like he was already
Yeah,
starting to
yeah.
take on that mentor.
I'll give you
role.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so it's like for me it just fits the story so well.
I thought the character of, what was it, Tommy Gunn?
Tommy the
Tommy
Machine
Gunn,
Tommy
Gun.
yeah.
Gunn, yeah.
I hated Tommy Gunn. Like, that's not an actor; it's
Yeah.
a real like fighter. So
He was
He was
he was terrible.
actually a real boxer.
I know, but he was terrible acting.
Oh yeah.
I have his stats here.
Yeah, he came from a family of boxers.
I hated the Duke character way more than I hated Tommy Gunn.
I just thought Tommy Gunn was by far one of the worst actors in the whole series.
Well,
He was hard to watch.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And I hated the street fight at the end. I don't know why. It just
I liked that. I thought it was
I
different.
thought the straight, was different, and you actually kind of got to see Rocky like fist fight, like it was a real fist fight.
Yeah,
before we
not a boxing fight.
continue with so I think Corey has some fun fact stats for us.
oh yeah, I literally have
stats.
well, yeah, basically just
Bring up the
stats.
stats. Hey Jamie,
Uh,
bring it up.
Tommy Gunn in this movie, the guy's real name is Tommy Morrison.
Yeah.
He was a very good boxer in his time. He went 48-3-1 with 42
Ooh.
knockouts.
God
Damn.
damn.
He was compared to Tyson in his heyday for his strength of his punches.
Damn. Oh,
So he was good.
oh,
I
it was
believe
good.
he was. I think his career was ruined because he was like fucked by his manager real bad or something.
That and he went a little nuts. Like he
oh
went,
yeah, he got into drugs.
Yeah.
And by the way, another issue I have with Rocky 5 is like in the span of 1 year, Tommy Gunn goes like 23-0, and 23 fights in 1 year is fucking
impossible.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
impossible.
That's
especially
fucking
like
ridiculous.
especially like big televised press
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
And there's no
Tom-
way.
Tommy should have told them that, like, guys, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Like that movie. Yeah, like honestly, that
He was
movie just
probably
tried
just
to do
happy.
too much too fast. I think that was his
Yeah,
the biggest downfall for two things. They tried to do too much in one
yeah,
movie,
yeah, very true.
and the other one was it was such a deviation from the other 4 that it just threw a lot of people.
And
off.
that movie was actually Stage Stallone was Sylvester. That's his actual son,
It's his
Yeah.
real
Yep.
son, yeah.
who
I
unfortunately
actually-
passed away in his 30s because of issues. We'll say.
Oh, that's
Oh.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
So that's
Wow.
why they didn't. Is that why they didn't use him? Obviously, then in Balboa,
That and
Milo Ventimiglia is a very good actor.
He
Milo
is, yeah, he did good.
Ventimiglia.
but back to our favorite and least. We didn't finish our least and favorite moments of
Rocky 4.
God, you
Oh,
guys
we
keep
didn't?
jumping around. No, I think Corey really only got to talk.
You guys started talking about Tommy Gunn.
Anyway, yeah, we
I had
did.
facts.
I don't know how it came up, but you're right, Mike. All right, Adrian, least and favorite and least favorite parts of 4, since you're kind of a hater.
Man, my favorite part is probably the fight between Rocky and Drago. Like Drago actually showing that the moment that Drago realizes fucking Rocky isn't human, like how does this guy keep getting back
He
up?
isn't human.
Yeah.
He
He
isn't
is
human.
made of iron.
He's made of iron.
all in one fight. He
It's like he has
realized that
bricks in his gloves.
he realized that Rocky wasn't human and that he was.
Yeah.
When they say fucking like when fucking Rocky cuts him, I love when Duke says, "See, he's a man. He's not a machine." I love that line.
I absolutely cannot wait for
Duke
Mike to
doesn't
see
get
Creed
enough.
2 so we can talk about like
Yes.
stuff.
Well, that'd
So
be
that's
next
all
week.
I'm gonna say.
It kills me we haven't talked about.
I know,
we
like
can't talk
next-
about that.
Next week.
Dude, I can't wait because all the stuff I have to say about Drago.
And then the montage in the mountain is great. Is that when the Heart of Fire is playing? When he's
Yeah.
climbing
Oh, yeah,
the mountain?
yeah.
running
and
the
Ken-
mountain.
Why did he get rid of that beard?
I know, that beard was awesome.
He had to look badass with that beard.
Probably wasn't real. You think an Italian could grow a beard like that? Come on.
I mean, he looked
Come
Russian.
on.
He actually looked Russian after he grew the beard.
A brown-haired Russian.
and I agree with Corey about my least favorite. Just too many montages. It's not one specifically that like bugs me. It's too much of the movie.
I love like the old school mountain training. Like,
Yeah,
montage
I like that part.
so much.
Oh, I like
And like the
some of
guys and the
montages.
KGB guys like following him around.
I love how he did. I love how he ditches them and they crash in that snow.
Yeah, he just like takes off. Like, fuck these guys.
And I'm gonna say it, fucking like I said earlier, Drago's just kind of like it's what he was supposed to be, but he's just like fucking a robot in this movie. He has 9 lines. He gets called like one of the greatest villains ever, and I don't think so. I think Clubber Lang's way better as a character than he
Me
is.
too.
I think he gets called one of the greatest villains ever because at that time, because of the Cold War,
Yeah, oh yeah.
that's exactly what it was being billed out to be.
That movie was a metaphor.
I kind of hate that too. How Rocky ended the Cold War.
I
I don't
hated
what.
that.
That's
I-
the greatest thing ever.
Throughout the fight, I don't know why all these fucking Russians like stopped supporting their hometown kid and started cheering
Well,
for Rocky.
here- Actually, what I don't understand
Maybe it's his
is-
heart.
is they're talking about how
Fucking
in the
hard
beginning.
again.
In the beginning of the movie,
The power of friendship.
in the beginning of the movie, Drago's wife says that Apollo Creed is one of the most respected boxers of their people. So I would imagine that Balboa is also one of the most respected boxers of their people.
Yeah.
So what I don't understand is how when he goes there to fight, they're not already kind of cheering for him. Like, why are they all booing him? Like, that kind of was weird to me. I'm like, these people were fans.
What? Like, why were they booing Rocky?
Yeah, I think it was a little too heavy-handed that they were all booing him right off the at the beginning.
It's because
I mean-
America was really disrespectful to Drago when he went to America.
Yeah.
So they were just-
I could see that.
I think the citizens of Soviet Russia at that time were afraid to root against their country.
That could be.
well, absolutely.
Pretty brutal. So
No,
maybe
the
they were
booing.
made to.
The booing made sense to me. That's like when fucking McGregor was on top of the world. When anybody came to Ireland to fight McGregor, the other person got booed out of the
Oh,
building.
Oh, absolutely. He was the pride of the Irish.
Even though Liam Neeson said he's a little fucking leprechaun that's embarrassing to Ireland.
I love Liam Neeson so much. He's a little fucking leper.
Conor McGregor's a little fucking leprechaun.
My least favorite part of Rocky 4 is easily the fucking robot. Like, it's just
Oh God,
stupid as-
I didn't say the
It's-
robot.
It's so stupid.
Yes, you did. You talked about Drago.
That's my least favorite.
No,
Damn.
Ah,
Corey.
nice, nicely
Talking
done.
about-
Damn, Corey.
Nice.
talk
Nicely
about
done.
Polly's. Talk about.
I'm
Polly's
gonna be
robot.
real. I think that
I hate
Polly's
the
robot
robot.
has more lines than Ivan Drago.
does.
Polly's
has.
robot
It
does
does.
have more lines. Fucking when Rocky's like,
Hi,
"Who taught it to
Polly."
speak like that?"
Oh,
But
Polly.
and did you notice the strategically placed knobs as boobs? Like, let's be real, they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
of course they
Fucking
did.
Stupid.
I do love how Rocky's cleaning his car in that one scene, and his kid's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, someone says your face looks like a punching bag, but I don't think it does." He's like, "Oh, hey, thanks." Like he gets real happy, and then the kid's like, "It looks more like a catcher's mitt." but Rocky's so happy, like he's
Oh,
just his kid.
yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot.
For most of this series, Rocky's a pretty damn good dad.
Oh hell yeah!
He's a damn good dad, except Rocky
five.
Five's a
Except
little
in
bit of
five.
I
He
don't
really
even think
fucks
he,
up in 5.
I think he was kind of bad in 5, but he wasn't
just
like a bad
completely-
dad. He was just
he just ignored him.
He wasn't a bad dad. He was an
I thought it was
father.
I thought it was weird in Rocky 5 when Tommy Gunn came up to Rocky's son and says, "Look at me, I'm
Like-
his son now."
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this there, Mike.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like, you had a good dad.
Oh god,
so
Doug's going
Yeah.
back.
by comparison, I'm sure that looked awful, but that wasn't that bad.
And the way, like, you look at how Rocky was to his son the entire series, and then
But,
look at him
Mike-
like just dismissing.
Mike, that's what
him
I'm trying to
and-
say.
Mike,
Is like
Mike.
for what you think of as a father, yeah, that's bad.
The love that Rocky poured into Tommy instead of his son is like
Yeah.
when me and Adrian's dad poured into his guitars instead of his sons
Oh, so you guys know.
or his
Or-
drugs.
Or his other
Or
family.
he made them stand
Or his
there
other
because he had to punish them for something stupid. Or,
Yeah.
or when I had to stand in the kitchen because my dad wanted to tell me I ruined his life. Like there's a lot of not bad things.
So Rocky Balboa. Did everyone get to talk about Rocky 4?
No,
Yeah.
I still didn't even say my favorite scene.
Oh my god!
Stop changing the subject.
Well, then
I
we
think
all talk.
I think
we all
we're
talked about
changing
it.
the subject.
Yeah.
Shut up, Adrian.
Oh my bad.
Honestly, my favorite scene is really hard to pick, but because I think, unlike the two clowns that are brothers, I think this whole fucking movie is great.
There's just not many great scenes. I get it.
No,
No, I'm joking. There are.
There's so many great scenes in this fucking movie. Although I love all the montages, but you know what? I think my favorite. It's weird because this is the one that I remember the most. Is right after his wife being kind of a bitch is like, you can't win, Rob. He goes on that drive.
A bitch.
Nah.
I'm gonna defend her to my
when he
dying
goes
day.
on that drive. That little montage during the drive is probably my
I
favorite
agree.
moment of that movie.
Okay, so one of the montages is your favorite.
One of the
Well,
driving montage.
It's hard not to pick a
driving montage.
It's hard not to pick a montage as one of your favorites when a third of the movie is montage.
You guys have repeated that fact as many times as Rock has repeated.
You guys-
Don't leave. That has asked her to come into his apartment at this point.
You,
in the
you
first
guys
movie.
have said montage as many times as Adrian said cake during the
Oh, no.
animated series.
Uh-oh. Montage is becoming cake, guys, or episode.
Montage is real. The montage is real.
That's a first sentence that I never thought I'd hear until this podcast. Montage is
Montage
becoming
is
cake. Like what?
And the cake is
Cake,
real.
Rock, cake.
All right, Rocky Balboa. Go right down.
Rocky 5.
Yeah, you're
All of it.
Fine.
All of it.
All right,
Adrian's
Corey,
straight
what
up
is your favorite and
disruptive.
least favorite part of Rocky 5?
I have to pick a favorite part.
Yes, you do.
There's good moments of that movie.
There has to be
are.
one redeeming moment in that movie.
Aside from the first 3 minutes of the recap of Rocky 4.
That was pretty good.
No, I mean, if that's what you want to go with.
Well, if that's easily the best part of that movie.
I like Rocky, like you said, it leads into Creed. I like Rocky becoming like a manager, a trainer. I like that. I like that direction for his character.
Okay, I do have a favorite part of 5.
Yeah,
When Tommy punches Polly in the face.
That's great.
there you
That-
go. See?
There you go.
I do have a
Rocky
favorite
couldn't
part. I
do it,
forgot.
but Tommy, you had to look that up, didn't you?
No, I have a list of things from the movie, and that was one of
Oh,
them.
okay,
I
cool.
just forgot.
Not only does Paulie get decked, but Rocky follows it up with a badass line. You knocked him down. Now let's see you knock me down.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to fuck
then-
him up.
And then he proceeds to knock him down many times.
Hey,
But
hey.
Tommy always fucking goes at him when his back's turned, the dirty bitch.
He does.
It's
There's
true.
a lot of
Because
background.
Rocky fucks him up right at the beginning, and then he thinks he's done, and
Right.
Tommy's like, no, we're not done.
And then I love when he fucking hits Duke. He's like, I'll sue you. Sue me for what?
It's my favorite line
Yeah.
in the entire movie when he says, "Sue me for what?"
Sue me for what?
That's one of the things my dad used to always say. They can't take blood from a stone.
Right. And I've already
Unless
said
it's,
everything.
unless it's a
what?
bloodstone.
What if it's a bloodstone?
Yeah. that gives blood magicians their power, Mike.
I've already
And then where are you? You're
Did
fucked.
you not even watch
Then
Harry
you're
Potter?
fucked. Yeah, fuck.
you guys aren't acknowledging my Jesus chain. I've already said everything I don't like about Rocky 5. So I like
That's
the
fair.
direction of making him a trainer.
You know what? I respect that, Adrian. You've shown great character development throughout this episode.
And punching. And I agree with Corey about Paulie getting punched.
Yeah.
It needed to happen.
My favorite part is essentially when it's oddly another Adrian moment when she's telling Rocky, like, yeah, this guy may be, he may be really good. He may have the potential to be an awesome fighter, but he doesn't have your heart. Like,
Yes.
I really love that moment. That's a really good one.
I like how Adrian saw through him when Rocky didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has so many great fucking moments in these movies.
95% of the time, Adrian's great.
Not our Adrian.
I agree.
Yeah. Our Adrian's like 30% of the time is good.
That's high.
Hey, Adrian. Would you fuck Adrian?
I'd fuck Adrian so hard.
Like
I mean-
now or
Now this conversation got weird.
In her prime.
yeah, sure.
Oh, we're
Adrian
talking about
Brown.
Rocky's Adrian.
Yeah. Talia Shire.
No, I fuck.
I thought we were just talking about incest.
I fuck Adrian all the time.
Yeah.
At least someone is.
But Talia Shire in her prime, yeah, I'd give it a go.
I'd probably do it.
You
now.
actually answered the question. Okay. I put it in. Corey, but you'd put it in everything.
What? Not anymore. I mean, I never did that.
I mean, I never did.
I mean, not
As far
as
as my least favorite scene of the movie goes, there's
forgot
so
my
many
kid
of them.
listens to
It's I cannot pick.
There's so many of them.
There's so many of them. I couldn't pick my least favorite.
Yeah.
I kind of don't
It's got to
understand
be
how.
Duke. You talk about him constantly.
That's true. I do fucking hate the
Every
character of
scene
Duke.
involving
I
Duke.
see. Okay, so I love Duke, but it's because he just totally pokes at the fucking douchebag that is Don King.
Oh yeah,
I like
absolutely.
Yeah.
I like Duke in that movie just because he's the
But-
comic relief.
Exactly.
There's something else.
soup.
As a trainer of a gym, do you not make a lot of money? Like, because I feel like.
It's
but-
basically a monthly. You make money based on monthly.
But my thing is, you're
dues.
Rocky fucking Balboa. How do you not have people fucking like just trying to
Because
like,
people
fucking
can't
tear
keep
the
up.
door down?
That's the thing about boxing, man, is it's really fucking hard and unforgiving. So people like they come in and they'll pay for a dues for a month and then they'll never come back the second.
But
day.
as Rocky Balboa, he could literally charge so much money and people would still pay it. So
but
I
they
don't
won't come back
understand
for the
how.
second
But-
month, Mike.
But he went back and opened Mick's gym in the middle of burnt down Philadelphia. He's not going to
Okay,
charge a
that-
bunch of money.
That does put a little bit of perspective in for me.
like
Thank
he
you.
didn't open
That
up
does
like
make
a
sense.
douchebag gym for like
Yeah.
fucking douchebags.
Like his bubble gym in Rocky 2.
That fucking episode of Bob's Burgers where they opened a gym right up next door.
I have seen 2 episodes of that show.
Oh my
About the
God, it's
same.
Such an amazing
It's
show.
just not for me.
Really?
Just not for me.
I do. I like the 2 I saw.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
But not enough to watch a
Not-
third.
I don't know if I'll ever watch
The
it more,
lobster
but-
episode was great.
All right, did everyone talk about their favorite and least favorite of this movie?
Yeah, so let's move
yeah,
on to
let's-
like this shining gem that came out decades after the 5.
16 years later.
Rocky Balboa.
Stallone calls the first and Rocky Balboa his 2 favorite movies of the series.
I understand that. I
Yeah,
understand
That makes
it
sense
totally.
to me.
They're kind of the same movie.
I'm gonna give us a SpongeBob transition. 16 years later.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stallone was not happy with the way they concluded his character in Rocky 5, so this was his proper send off. Then you got Creed, of course, but
I mean, I feel it. That's why it's my third favorite.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean,
this
it's really
movie.
good. Yeah,
love
it's
Rocky
so
Balboa.
good.
I do too.
It's so good.
Yep.
Like,
There's really not a thing I hate about the movie.
I love when they can bring something that was so popular in the 70s and 80s to 2006 and still make us care about this character this much. It's what I
not
like
just
about
care
it so
about
much.
like, and not only that, but fuck, it probably made me even like more of a fan. It was
Well,
good
true,
enough that it
true.
like these were movies I rewatch constantly, and like when I rewatch them, I rewatch fucking all of them.
Yeah.
And Balboa made the cut, it made the rotation, and then they kept doing that with Creed. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
just they stayed good even
I
past.
know
that.
it's insane that they're still good.
I think the choreography and the fights in Creed we'll get to. I think it's probably better than any Rocky movie. The choreography
I think that's
is so
just,
good.
I think that's just a modern day movie thing. Though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just they go the next,
but they
go the
actually
extra
keep their
mile.
hands up and they actually dodge.
There's a
Yeah,
lot more.
yeah.
That's kind of like when at the very beginning of this episode, I brought up how like acting back then and acting now
Yeah,
are
right.
kind of different. And
Yeah.
like, while I totally love and respect the classics, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like the level that they push for to like the level of like being correct and doing things the right way and making it look
Yeah.
exactly like it should is so much higher now, and the standards are so much higher
Agreed.
that they just
Yeah.
push for that.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Thank God we're doing this on a Monday, huh?
Yeah,
you got a
that's
week
right.
to edit it.
That's
I'm sorry.
No,
Like,
it's
we're clubbing 6 movies into this. I don't know what else to do.
yeah. You take out a few rants, and this has been a really good episode.
Yeah.
Let's suck our dicks a little more here, guys.
Guys, we're
We're
awesome.
so good at this. Guys, we're awesome.
If we weren't good after 70 episodes, I think we should probably call it.
Oh,
quits.
it should have been called if that was the case.
No, but I'm going to sound double standard here because one of the things I don't like about Rocky Balboa, I actually really like about Creed, and that's what I just talked about. I
You're
just
gonna
don't.
sound double standard.
2006, like the fight sequences in the movie are a little bit too flashy for the Rocky series for me. Like it feels too modern almost.
But Creed,
Which-
you expect it.
Yeah, Creed, I expect it. I love it
Yeah.
in Creed. And Rocky Balboa, it kind of threw me off with watching the whole series back. It all kind of has one style. Like Rocky 3, Rocky 4 gets a little flashier. It's 80s. But then 2006, it's like, it looks...
See, And I think
there's a
Sylvester
16-year
Stallone knew.
difference,
I think
though.
that's
Yeah,
why
I know,
it's
I get
called
that.
Rocky Balboa and not Rocky 6.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to set up the expectation that it's the same thing.
And I'm fully aware of what I'm saying now. Like, I know it kind of makes me sound like a hypocrite with Creed. But just in the Rocky series, it felt too modern for me, the fight, the camera angles, and
You
the
almost wish it had
cinematography.
just been a different series.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I was accustomed to one way of fighting. The same way as the street fight in Rocky 5. Like, the first 4 Rockies were perfect for me.
I honestly think that he called it Rocky Balboa to try to make it its own different thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of saying.
because
yeah.
Rocky was such an established character in those movies, everybody just kind of saw it as Rocky 6.
I mean, fucking Max Kellerman was calling the fight. And if you're an ESPN fan, you're like, holy fuck, that really makes it feel modern.
And Michael Buffer fucking was the announcer.
Yeah.
Like, that was
And-
awesome.
Wait,
And the cameras,
Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
What? That's Michael
Wait,
Buffer.
Isn't it Bruce Buffer?
It's Michael Buffer.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bruce
he had a
Buffer.
brother who also did it, but Michael Buffer was the one in that movie.
Yeah.
But I also like that the fight.
Shit! There really are 2 of them.
Yeah, I like
God.
that. I also like that the fight and all the stuff surrounding the fight that day was shot almost like you're watching it on ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like movie and gritty like the beginning of the movie was.
So that's
It was
what I
like-
didn't like.
Oh, you didn't
See,
like that?
yeah.
I like.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like. It felt like an ESPN fight.
I love when franchises grow and evolve over the years. Like it's the same reason I like
When
the
they do it
sequels to
right.
Star Wars, and you don't really. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like Corey just said,
but
when
it's-
they do it right.
Yeah.
Unlike the
And-
Star Wars movie.
Dumb
Fuck
stupid
off.
argument aside.
Yeah.
I just like seeing things change and evolve with time. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be I don't always want it to just be the same thing.
Right.
That it
Like the
always
MCU.
Especially, God.
Sorry, all the gloves
You
are
just
coming
can't-
off at the
You
end.
just can't. Okay,
No,
Rocky.
that was
5.
Rocky 5.
Oh yeah.
You
He
hypocrite.
also begged them to take his gloves off so he could fight Thunderlips better.
That's true.
That's-
So he
that's
took,
Rocky
he took
three.
his gloves off.
Cut-
in 3.
cut him,
You know,
cut
Put my
him.
gloves off.
How unfair was that fight? Let's be fair.
I mean,
I've
Yeah.
never seen Stallone look like more of a bitch than standing.
He looked
Right
like
by
a
Hulk Hogan.
child, man.
I
He
do-
looked like a kid
I love how
next
they
to
did the
Hulk
camera tricks to make him look so much taller, though, because really Hulk's only
Yeah.
about 3 inches taller than him.
Hulk's 6'3".
Yeah, and
Isn't he?
Stallone's like 6'1", 6'1".
I don't think that's true.
He might
Hold
be
on.
more like 5'11", but they said he's 7 foot tall in that movie.
Yeah, Stallone's 5'10".
Oh shit! Okay.
yeah, and
Hogan is
I think he's like
6'7".
6'7". Yeah.
Oh, so he
he's
is-
that,
He's
actually
a lot
that much
taller,
taller.
but they said he was 7 foot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. They pushed it.
They gave him
pushed that
5
up.
extra inches.
But 6'7's pretty fucking tall.
It is tall. I'm not saying he isn't tall. I'm just saying they made him look like a fucking.
Nah, I got
giant.
you. Back on topic.
As far as Balboa goes, one of the things that I really love, his big speech to his son aside, that he says is to
Best part of
Marie,
the movie.
is when he says, "Why do you got to owe something to get something?" I really love that when he says that,
Yeah.
because like she's just like, "Why are you being so nice to us? Why are you helping us out? Like, you don't owe us anything." And he's just like, "Well, why do you got to owe something to get something?" Like, that's
Oh
what
yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Like
love that
when he's
line.
helping her and her son.
Yeah.
The whole time when he was trying to make her owe something so he could get something.
That's right.
No, absolutely not.
Giggity.
No,
My-
see,
That's going to transition me nice into my least. The only thing I really didn't like about Rocky Balboa
Yeah.
that he didn't fuck Marie. No,
Are you serious?
no,
I wanted her to
no, no.
jackhammer her.
No. My actual least favorite part is when those guys in the bar are fucking with Marie and he ends up deciding it's not okay.
Yes.
I really wanted a Jack Reacher style fight outside that bar.
Oh
He
yeah.
fucks that guy up. Instead,
Yeah.
the guy just concedes and goes, "I'm sorry."
Who's Jack Reacher?
That's Tom Cruise's character in the movies. You never saw Jack Reacher? There's this really, really good scene where he takes these guys out into the alley, and there's 5 of them, and they say, "There's 5 of us," and he goes, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not very fair for you guys," and then he fucks them all up.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually a really fucking good movie.
It's a really
Okay.
good movie.
Tom Cruise,
Action
you
wise,
little
if
fucking
you love
midget.
action,
But I really wanted Rocky to like fuck that guy up.
Okay.
I do
Yeah,
like
I
that when
see.
he's in the van and she's like, "It's okay." He's like, "No, it's not." And then he gets out.
It's really not. Yeah.
Right.
let's. Do you guys really think that? Like, okay, so were you guys concerned that he was gonna end up sleeping with Marie by the end of the movie?
I wasn't. Why would you say concerned?
Well, for one, the age difference, like that's kind of creepy. That
They're
he knew
both
her when-
adults at that point.
See,
so
well,
weird.
I personally don't do big age gaps. It's two adults can do whatever the fuck they please.
Yeah, at that point, it's whatever
I just
you
don't
want to do.
think. I don't think with the whole idea in the movie of him like remembering Adrian and this and that and
Yeah.
Bro, he's still a
Okay.
dude, and
Okay,
he's
he's
been
still-
alone.
You
but-
can't just be abstinent just because your wife died.
My wife died, so I haven't had sex in 75 years.
She even says when he's like, well, I don't want you to think it's anything like fishy like that. She's like, no, I wasn't thinking that. Like, she doesn't she kiss him on the lips at the hotel room before she walks
does.
away? That was kind of weird to me.
You could say
And
it was like a.
She
friend,
wasn't thinking
yes.
something like that. She was trying to make it something.
I think
like
I
that.
think she wanted something to happen. He was not interested. He was just trying to be genuinely like helping somebody out.
Do you know why a guy says to a girl, "I don't want you to think it's any fishy or anything like that"?
'Cause they want
he's,
something.
he's hoping she says, "No, it's okay. I want it to be that way."
Yeah. No, I
Rocky
gave-
was
but
trying
they-
to get some.
They do kind of set it up like that's what's going on there because Paulie tells Rock to move on out of the past, and then next thing you know,
He hated his
he's
sister.
helping this
That's not
girl
fair.
out.
He didn't hate his
I don't think
sister.
he did not hate his sister
Paulie
because he even
hated that
says in
bitch.
that movie. He even says in that movie that he feels awful doing this whole what do they call it? He calls it the tour or whatever, and he's like, and even like Paulie says, he's like, I've done it with you the last 3 years, and he's like, are you coming? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. And
Oh yeah, like
You
every
know,
year on the
and-
anniversary of her
yeah.
death, he goes to all the places.
and Paul even says he's like, you were good to her. I was a piece of shit. Like I treated her like shit.
Yeah.
Like Paulie loved his sister. He knew he was a piece of shit, and he felt awful about it. Probably made him even more of an alcoholic when she passed.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the Marie from Rocky 1 that
Yes.
he was yelling at to not be a
Yes.
whore on the street?
Yes.
Yeah, because she even says the line, or he even says the line. He's like, yeah, you even said, "Screw you, creepo."
She said,
Like,
"I
I
did
didn't
not
say
say
that.
creep."
He's, like, good insults are hard to forget.
he really put that to his mental bank. Screw you, creepo. He said, "In a couple of years."
A couple years, you're gonna be calling me something. You're gonna be calling me something like creepo.
Should be calling him creepo anyway.
Okay, so he was 30 in the first movie. She was 12. There's an 18-year gap. He was like, what, 60 in this movie? She would have
Yeah.
been in her 30s.
Maybe 40s.
It's just kind of
Maybe
weird.
40 almost.
Maybe over 40.
I do love his ignorance when she's mentioning her son and they're looking at these two kids. And he's like, yeah, he's got the red hair, looks just like you. And she's like, it's the other one.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
I wasn't really looking for... I think they just need to have that drama, something in there, like as a filler, something for him to like try to care about a little bit.
It was nice
Yeah.
it was nice to show his heart.
He cared about his neighborhood. That was the thing. Like he always did, though.
Yeah,
From
I think
the first movie.
he was just fucking a lonely old man.
Yeah,
was-
he
he was-
was
yeah.
friends.
He was looking for a friend. Yeah. As much shit as I gave you earlier, like talking about him being weird or something. I think it was a friend to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was written...
He wanted somebody to care for.
Yeah, and I love that he takes her son to get a dog. He names the dog Punchy.
Yeah. He said, "No, I like that. It's easy to remember."
And she's like,
It's
"Don't
easy
you
to
think that's a little
remember.
disrespectful to the dog?" And he's like, "No. It's character. It's it's easy to remember."
Favorite part, I think it's all the same.
What?
The speech. Does anybody have?
Yeah,
I-
Is that
I think-
unanimous?
I think it's my favorite.
that's easily my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
And then
That's one of the best parts of the franchise.
Let me tell you something you already know.
I rewatch that speech sometimes just when I'm like every once in a while I'll come upon it and I'll watch it again.
I used to have this video that got taken off YouTube. Unfortunately, it was like a Dragon Ball Z Gohan montage with that speech going on with Goku and
Oh,
Gohan
okay.
going back and forth.
Except
But he, like-
it'd probably be Piccolo saying it.
His real dad.
Well, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. I don't know, Gohan. I don't know who told you this, but life hits hard.
Your dad fucking hits hard.
yeah.
But nobody, but even he doesn't hit harder than life, except that one time where he punched me through my stomach.
Actually, I think I kind of do.
Sorry, Mike. I know you're trying to start something, but that bit was going.
We're trying to fucking end something.
I do love that later on in the movie when he does get knocked down, he revisits that. He's like, "What did you tell your kid?" You know, so he
Oh, yeah.
reuses his speech to his son to motivate himself. Like that's just how powerful that speech was.
And what I like about that speech is throughout these movies, Adrian was always there to give him a speech.
Yeah.
And when she's not here, he becomes he has the wisdom. He tells his son.
Which just kind of shows that he did listen. He may
Yeah.
have been a bit of a dumbass, but he listened.
He listened to everything she said. Yeah.
So, you guys have anything else you want to mention about Rocky before we wrap this up?
Yeah, hold on. I got one last thought about Rocky. So Rocky's awesome.
And I mean, can't say anything else after that. Guys.
I said this at the beginning of the episode, but this is truly one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like, you give me fucking, Star Wars and all these things that I love, I would put Rocky up there because I'm a sucker for sports movies. I'm a sucker for drama and love stories, and this is all that. The best of all that. And then there's Rocky 5.
As far as sports movies go, this series might only be under Remember the Titans for me. That is probably my favorite sports movie of all time.
Well, then, since you guys brought that up, is Rocky the best sports movie of all time? Corey, you just gave us your answer. Adrian,
is Remember the Titans.
I don't. Yeah, this is gonna sound weird, but I think Rocky is one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's not my favorite sports movie, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
Like, I would rank the original Rocky above my favorite sports movie, which is also Remember the Titans. I think Corey and I have always agreed.
But your favorite sports movie is Remember the Titans. Okay, Mike.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't even see the Rocky movies as sports movies. They're really they're more about.
That was a weird sentence.
Why?
Well, I mean,
how is that a weird sentence?
Stallone himself said these are love.
No, I get it, but we just spent a minute establishing that we consider these sports movies. You're like, I don't consider this.
But
like,
I really don't. They're more drama. They're more about the story.
When you
itself.
cut your steak, do you go against the grain or do you cut with the grain?
I just fucking it's chaos.
Yeah, Mike, when you eat your well done steak, I don't even know
fuck that.
I don't even know if that's true.
Mike and Doug agreed this whole episode, and then at the end,
it all came apart.
It all fell apart.
It couldn't last.
I'll cut the steak in chaos, but I am not a fucking monster. It's medium rare.
There you go.
Okay. What if they want their steak well done, Dad? We ask them politely yet firmly to leave. Anyway,
I love these movies. There's all 6 of them. I don't even hate 5. It's just it's the weakest of the series, but it's still good to me.
It's no 2, but you're right.
They're really good.
Sorry,
but I don't consider them sports movies. Remember the Titans is definitely my favorite sports movie.
Wow.
Well.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, God. It is leading to an episode.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I love that movie, but with that being said, Rocky is one of my all time favorite series, but it's also not my favorite sports movie. My favorite sports movie all
Little
time,
Giants.
Field of Dreams.
Okay.
But
If you build it, they will come.
Oh, it's just a beautiful movie.
Did you say Little Giants?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Rick Moranis, baby.
We'll do that. We'll do that episode for the Super Bowl next year.
Little Giants. When the Giants are in the Super Bowl.
No, we'll do the replacements. But
hey,
I love that.
I'm taking Chiefs 38, Eagles 35.
It's a good call.
I still can't believe how that Super Bowl went. Anyway, moving on because we're way overdue, and poor Mike.
And poor Mike.
Mike, don't worry, Mike. The Christmas episode was this long.
I have a whole week that I'll start Friday.
That'll start Friday.
Hey, that's sooner than I'd start. I start the Monday the night before.
All right. And
Anyway. So, Adrian, where can these lovely folks check your videos from 6 years ago?
if you would like to see my lovely backlog of videos, by the time this comes out, I will have my top 5 worst movies of 2022. I won't have the Megan review out. I know that, but I have an upcoming Megan review for the first movie I saw in 2023, I believe. Yeah, Megan was the first movie I saw this year.
That's so sad.
Eventually, Creed 3 would be a perfect time to rank all the Rocky and Creed movies together, but I probably won't do that. But hey, check out my backlog of videos on Baker Reviews on YouTube.com.
You can just wait until Creed 4 comes out.
Exactly.
Baker Reviews.
That was weird.
Thank you, Doug.
That was awkward.
Baker Reviews.
Baker Reviews. Blah, 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 blah.
Anyway, for content that's more relevant to us since it actually gets released every week, Corey, where can people come talk to us about our show?
Yeah, on Facebook, it's Culture Shock Podcast. On Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. And on Twitter, where I do most of my work, it's CS Podcast 21. Come on over there and talk to us and tell us which one is your favorite, Rocky, and why we're wrong.
And if Corey's feeling spry, maybe he'll even put up a poll about Hearts on Fire or Eye of the Tiger. What's the best Rocky song?
That's a good one.
Culture shock.
I could easily. I'll do that the day after we release this.
You could do
Sounds good.
you could do the original song, the original Rocky theme in there too.
I'll even put
Don't
that in
bother.
Well,
just-
yeah, that's just gonna be the winner.
there. I'll just call
Yeah.
it original Rocky theme because if I say the actual name, nobody will know what it is.
No, everyone will be like, "Why'd you put Rocky theme and Eye of the Tiger?"
That's probably true. You idiot! That is the theme.
That is the theme.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do think it's the theme.
But guys,
All right, guys.
guys,
All
while
right,
you're
guys.
checking us out on social media, be sure to rate us 5 stars and give us a review. Helps out the podcast more than you know. Rate us 5 stars if you like what you hear.
Yeah, give me it.
And with that being said, I think that's going to about do it for this episode from all of us Culture. Thanks for listening. Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves ya.